I'll make you famous.
Because I'm a cowboy! Oh, man!
Nuts?
You thought?
And now, your mama knows.
Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon!
What's going on, guys? It's the Cowboy, and I'm back with some more epic entertainment, and today's going to be nothing less than epic because I got a guest. I didn't tell you guys, but I got a guest that's going to be joining today, so let me throw on the hat and get this thing epic. So today, guys, I got my wife will be joining the show. She will be a guest, and it's going to be cool. Got a bunch of topics. Guys, we got to cover some stuff. So after, 27 years, Tupac murder has been solved or researched right now. I got some stuff to say about that. We got to also talk about New York being flooded. Like my guy Cherry Man Gaming, I got to meet him in person. Cool stuff. Went to Manhattan, and he actually wrote in the chat one day. He was like, "Yeah, flooded New York." I thought he was just saying that because there's a lot of rain. And my wife was showing me videos. I was like, "Oh no, New York is flooded." So I want to talk about that as well. There's also some conspiracy theories of New York was built on top of swamp area and blah, blah, blah. But I got some stuff for you guys too. Like, is women more selfish than men? Or is men more selfish than women? So I got a bunch of clips. We're going to get into it. It's going to be epic. But with that being said, I am the Cowboy, your host for tonight. And if you want to know about the channel, just go to the homepage, scroll down. You see all the different stuff I do. I do 4 different live streams a week. And on each day, it's different type of content. The first day is a gaming podcast. Second day is reality talk show. Third day is wrestling league. Fourth day, recently I've been doing Mortal Kombat streams. So also I do vlogging, so you see a bunch of stuff with my life, my family. You see my wedding on here, my honeymoon in Mexico, and also do reviews, movie reviews, product reviews. I'm working on a Temu video. It's gonna be a haul of Temu, so I know people are into that stuff, and I've just been buying stuff like crazy. because it's my wife's fault. But with that being said, guys, just check out the channel. I got a lot more stuff. So I'm gonna grab a chair. I hope you guys can grab a chair, and we're gonna get my wife in here so she could be a part of the show when she's ready. So yeah, man, we got some stuff to talk about. So let's see. Oh, you know what I got to do, guys? I apologize. Couple things I got to do. One, I got to turn on my Godzilla light. Two, I got to turn on the flashing lights in the back. Three, I got to feed my fish. No, I think I did feed. I fed them. And I got to turn on my other light. I'm supposed to have all this stuff done ahead of time. But today I was chatting with the guys in the Discord. Also, if you guys want to see the different things I got going on, what I did is I went and took the liberty in my Discord. I made a tab for all the different shows I do. And so what I'll do is throughout the week, stuff I'm going to talk about next week, I'll throw it in the Discord. So you guys, if you're part of Discord, you can actually just go and look and be like, oh, next week we talk about this. So you guys get a little bit of a heads up of what we're going to discuss. So let me pull up Discord. And then we'll get into it. But I want to ask you guys how you doing. I will say this. Yesterday I had a little bit of a meltdown. I was let's see, Reality Talk Show Tuesday. There we go. I was a little annoyed. Oh, thanks to Cubini. He actually threw something in the Discord. So we'll actually discuss that as well. Got a bunch of stuff. So but yeah, I was a little annoyed yesterday. And but today, man, a cooler head prevailed. And if any of you guys know what I'm talking about, cool. If you don't, just know we watched yesterday's show and you actually see the cowboy a little flustered. I apologize for that, but listen. But let me see what's up. Rue Diggs is in the building. Oh, man. Let me give my man Rue Diggs a cowboy shout out. My man Cubini is in the building. Let's go. Lion is in the building. He said, what's good? Mr. Urban Roll is in the building. So, LOL, how in the world did you go live so fast? Urban, I've been doing this for a while, man. Neil J is in the building. What's up, Neil? Let's go. No, I start my new job on Tuesday. Community said I may join. Grab some food. Not a problem. We'll be here looking proper. Thank you, man. You know, the thing is, Lion, I used to always dress up, right? Because my one job, it was a market research company. I always had to wear a blazer, blah, 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 slacks, you know. So this new job, when I first started, I was always dressing up. And at first it was like, you're dressing up too much. You don't have to dress up like that. So I figure I'm going to go out the way I came in. So I started off sharper than a Ginsu. So I feel like I'm dressing up this week, you know. Let's see. Speaker of the House. Ousted. That's crazy, but I don't really know what that means. So we'll talk about it. Terrible roundhouse. Bro, my roundhouse was on point. You can't even kick past your other knee. Cubini Gaming, he literally just left Discord. No, so Mr. Urban World, what I did was when we was on Discord, I had already started up my computer and I already had it, the intro running and everything. That's why I said I had to go. Yo, Jeremy, what's up? Jeremy, you won a bunch of belts last week, man, as I was going over I was doing the thumbnails today on my lunch break. Don't forget the super chat for the Cowboys. Forspoken for, hey, this is true. I do want to buy Forspoken, man. You guys know I've been waiting for that. He said, hi, Sandy. When is wife school coming? Yeah, he's been asking you to do a wife school, you know, forever.
Oh.
No, because every time you do something like bring in the food or I say, oh, my wife did this, my wife did that, he's like, bro, Sandy's the best. And he like you more than I do.
Oh, thank you, Lion.
Suge Knight said they got the wrong. Oh, Suge Knight said they got the wrong guy. One day I hope, and my man F Cat, give him the cowboy shout out. Urban said, one day I hope to be as professional as Sandy. Going, all right, fair enough. Look at Sandy smiling when you mention your clothes. Oh man, no, she doesn't help me with my style. I was fly before I met her. Why? How you think I got her? Let me see. I feel something to say about one of those belts. I ain't gonna say anything. All right. So with that being said, what's up? How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
You know what, Sandy? I'm good. I live for this stuff. And yesterday I was laughing. I was telling them. I said, you walked in here and you just seen me like this, and you was like, "Yo, are you okay?" And I was like, "You was like, you'll never look like that after your streams." And I was like, "Listen, I'm just."
It's
But
true. It's true.
I was telling them, but I'm good today. So
Today's
made-
a better day.
today's a better day. What made you join us?
I got some free time on my hands.
Huh.
Figure I'll help you out.
Doing us the favor, guys. Well, I didn't get to give you a kiss when I came home, so all right, cool. Oh wait, let me do it right. All right. All right, so Sandy, where should we go with this first? So
Well,
I got
You said somebody had something, right?
yeah,
Like
Cubini
this.
put in the thing about the Speaker of the House getting kicked out, I guess. They said that's the first time that ever happens. Here, let's do that.
Yeah, let's start with that.
Start with this. I don't know what it means. But oh, maybe I should have waited till Cubini or somebody came on.
Oh yeah, maybe you should save it then.
Yeah, let me save it. I'll bring it up when Cubini actually come
This
on.
way he can
Yeah.
go into detail with us.
Oh man, look, I ain't into politics at all.
I deal with politics every day.
Well, you know what? Let me show you guys this. I meant to show you guys this the other week, and I didn't get to it. But near where we live at, there's actually a prisoner that escaped prison, and so it was kind of crazy. But he got caught, but he was escaped for a little bit. So check this out.
I heard about that.
Yeah, this is wild. This was in Philly,
Yeah.
not that far from where we live at. But check this out, guys.
The moment a canine dog subdued Danilo Cavalcante, grabbing his legs after biting him on the scalp.
The subject is in custody.
His recapture was carried live on TV with stunning images from news helicopters. He was cornered on the 14th day of the search by a Pennsylvania State Police and Border Patrol SWAT team. 34 cops in combat gear with 2 canines involved in the hunt posed for a class photo. There's Cavalcante in the center, like a trophy. He was then marched to an armored police vehicle. You can see the .22 caliber rifle stolen from a homeowner being carried by a trooper. He was literally cut out of his soaking wet clothes, a stolen Philadelphia Eagles sweatshirt. His tattoo was photographed to confirm his ID. Cavalcante's capture came after a night of nail-biting tension. He was first spotted around 1 a.m. by a drug enforcement plane using thermal night vision cameras. But there was a lightning storm in the area and the plane had to evacuate the search zone. So cops surrounded this entire area but had to wait 7 hours before they could close in. Cavalcante was first spotted in this woodpile here. And then if you look, you can see the search continued into the woods. You can actually see the trail here along the ground.
He began to crawl through thick underbrush, taking his rifle with him as he went.
That's when the police dog was released and bit Cavalcante. His face was streaming with blood, but the injury is said to be superficial.
They're definitely my boots. Where he got the Eagle shirt, I don't know.
He was wearing a pair of Red Wing work boots stolen 2 days ago from local resident Jim Varnes.
My wife was looking around the back porch and she's like, Jim, your shoes are not, your work boots are not here. They're not where they're supposed to be.
Cavalcante was not returned to the Chester County Jail, where he escaped with that spectacular crab walk. His next stop was this maximum security prison. Police say he was bedraggled, miserable, and desperate after 14 days evading police. Cavalcante reportedly survived on watermelons and water from streams.
You have an individual whose choice is go back to prison and spend the rest of your life in a place you don't want to be, or continue to try and evade capture. He chose the evade capture.
And Governor Josh Shapiro had this message for the guy who owns that Philadelphia Eagles sweatshirt Cavalcante was wearing when he was caught.
If you could let us know, I'll do my best to get you one of those new Kelly Green ones, okay?
That's
Wait
wild.
7 hours before they could close in. Cavalcante was first spotted in this woodpile here, county jail, where he is.
Wow. That was wild. And that, guys, that's not far from where we live at. And he was on the run for a while. But let me do this. Let me throw the link out there so you guys could join if you're free to join the show. And I will pin it to the top. But yeah, so that was wild. But I mean, yeah. What do you got to say about that?
I bet they better secure that area.
Here's my thing. Back in the day, right, they used to have barbed wire. Once they added razor wire, I was like, oh, that's wild. Because barbed wire, you could throw like a shirt over it or something. But razor wire is nothing to play with. I want them to explain how, because they have to have razor wire.
Right.
So how did he get out? But you seen how the prison looked? That's pretty amazing. My man was Spider-Man for real.
Let's see, he was plotting.
Yeah, he was. Let me see. Oh, yeah, you already seen that. Keep it G-rated. Let me see. Got a gag order. Oh, yeah, Trump got a gag order. I heard Rose mention that. Yo, what's up, Sarah Blow? He went in on that convo, too? Oh, about the
House.
The house thing? Okay. We're doing pretty good, man. Actually, you know what? We could be better. So hold on real quick. How we doing, huh? Guys, let me get comfortable. All right, hold on. Gotta get the brown shoes with the brown belt. Come on, man. Y'all know I'm sharper than a Ginsu. You better stop playing, girl. All right, now I feel good. All right, cool. You know what?
You need to wash them feet.
You always gonna have haters in your life. Sometimes they might be foreign or domestic. All right, I'm fighting to get my sleeves off. Forget it. All right. Yeah, but yeah, I feel really cool now.
Mr. said, "Don't do the crime if you can't do the time."
Yeah, for real, right?
Lion said, "Cowboy, I think you pursued Sandy until you wore her down."
Bro. Are we showing this on the family-friendly channel? Listen, you must have never seen the episode of Sandy and Anthony show.
Jeremy said, "Persistence overcomes resistance, huh, Lion?"
Survived on watermelons and water from the streams. Yo, that's wild. Remember, you guys could join if you want. Let me pull him back up. Look at him. Wow. Come on, F-Cat. Stop it. Stop it.
Sour said, "Hey, at Mr. said, what's up?"
Guys, we got the first guest coming in. Is my guy, Energy Crisis, is in the building. Energy, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's good? What's good?
Same old. How's Mortal Kombat been treating you, man?
Actually, I haven't had a lot of time to play. You know, during the week, I work a lot, I sleep a lot. We got errands to run. Yeah, I don't get nearly as much time to hit the lab as I want.
Dodge Man made a video, a tutorial.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it yet, but I saw it.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I learned more in the first 9 minutes of his video than watching any of these videos. I literally learned combos for the first 9 minutes. He made it very simple and he put piece to piece. And I was like, oh, like most of the videos just showed the combo and then like slowed it down. But he like actually explained why do this, here's the full 3 hit, but don't do the full 3 hit.
Frame data, what's safe, what's not.
Yeah, that was really fundamental. But anyway, man, it's good to have you on. So you want to discuss that house and the speaker and all that stuff, right?
Yeah, I know Beanie wants to get in on that too. So if you want, we can hold off on that for a little bit. But yeah, like
all right,
politics.
Good stuff. Yeah, I know nothing about all that stuff. So you guys are gonna educate me today.
Yeah, that's one of the things I kind of got into whenever a little bit of behind the scenes and whatnot. My oldest 3 kids, they lived with their mom. She moved to Alaska with them, and a bunch of BS there. But eventually, she began abusing them, and they came to live with me for about 5 years.
Okay.
During that time, my wife was working, so I could stay home and kind of reconnect with them, and be a dad, because I hadn't seen them in like 8 years. And while they were in school and I was just kind of sitting at home playing video games and whatnot, I used to put like podcasts and whatnot on in the background, and I would basically educate myself on political theater and all that. So,
Okay.
yeah, that rabbit hole kind of interested me a little bit.
Not to be political, but Republicans don't care about the government. All right. Dude,
None of them
Alaska,
do.
that's talk about distance.
I'm not, as Republican or Democrat, none of them give a shit about you. It's
Yeah, honestly, I think it's kind of like winning, right? At the end of the day, you pick a side and then you just want to win. So and you know, if you could do something for the government that is winning, so I kind of look at it like that. They just want to
yeah. As far as like the people we vote for, it's kind of boiled down to a case. I know Dan Bongino talks about it all the time. It's a case of one party really sucks and one party is actively trying to destroy this country. So given the choice, I'll just take the party that really sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. What you think about this prisoner escaping, man?
Man, that's wild. How in the hell do you allow that to happen?
Well, they did one of the videos I seen. They did say the guard who should have been watching this part, he wasn't. So they're gonna have to talk to him. So I'm sure someone lost their job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this man just straight parkoured up the wall. It's like an American Ninja Warrior obstacle.
And like I was saying, the razor wire, bro, is a thing now. Like everything got razor wire. How you get over that?
Yeah.
But in one of the
there
videos,
are ways.
they go ahead.
I said there are ways, but
Well, in one of the videos, they do say that the dog actually bit him on his head first, so that's why his head was bleeding.
Good.
That's wild. Hey, that's what you get. All right, cool. So we got through that one. I got a video for you guys. That's kind of wild. So I want to bring this up for you guys. And you guys could join if you like, even you, FCAT. But check this out. This is wow, man.
And have skyrocketed at an alarming rate.
So far this year, between January and September 17th, more than 10,000 vehicles have been stolen, according to the Oakland police. Lynn talks to those impacted by the crimes, including a woman who is on the verge of homelessness.
10,000 cars stolen in Oakland.
This car owner is in tears. She just filed a police report. Someone stole her 2001 Chevy Suburban in front of her apartment Sunday morning.
What does that car mean to you? A lot, you know, because the car I buy it with.
Am I wrong for looking at her makeup? That's the first thing I looked at. Like she got the whole thing lined up to go in the corner. Usually people just start. Yeah, you do the line from there. But you know, what do I know? Go ahead.
Collecting bottles on the street.
Yasmin Cabrera says she collected bottles and cans for a year to save up $3,000 to buy the SUV. Now she feels like the world around her is collapsing.
My kids, they go to Fremont. So I have to drive every day from here from Oakland to take it to Fremont. They're not going to go to school because we have to figure out what's going to be next.
Yasmin and her kids moved to Oakland about 5 months ago. They were at one point homeless after she lost her job.
We're close to be homeless here in Oakland.
Oakland police reports from January 1st to September 17th, they recorded 10,547 stolen vehicles. That comes out to about 40 stolen cars a day.
There was no steering column, no seats. It was down to the wire. The back trunk was broken and gutted, everything.
The city is planning to install 300 cameras throughout Oakland by early next year. The interim police chief believes that will help track down some of the stolen cars.
We do see stolen vehicles being used in other crimes, being used to get parted out for money.
As for Yasmin, she's trying to stay strong and positive for her family.
That's wild. Here, let me get this up on the, use this picture. That is wild, guys. Crazy. I mean, it's not much to say, I guess, but this world is crazy. But I just thought, like, wow, you're like, you know, stealing the cars. I guess, you know, they did rip a lot out of it and setting them on fire. It's like, oh man. that must suck. You know, you just come outside and your car's gone, and
And then they find it, and there's nothing.
yeah.
In it, and it's
Now I guess the insurance, right? Insurance. So if you have liability, you're screwed. But if you had full coverage, they would just have to give you your book value. And unfortunately, let's say you owe more money than your book value, then you got to come up with the difference, unless you got gap insurance. That's kind of crazy.
See, that's what we were talking about last week with the business owner. Something you can't just like look at it as, oh, if you got insurance, you're good. I mean, this lady's still screwed because she has no way to get another car. She has no way to get her kids to school. You know. Let me ask you a question, Cowboy. How political do you want to get before Beanie gets in here?
Hold on. How what?
How political do you want the show to get before
You know what?
Beanie gets in
I think
here?
we'll just wait a little bit because let you and him be able to have a good political conversation because I won't. Now,
Okay.
my wife does work
because a
in
lot
the
of
division
this
of elections, which is wild. But you know, I'll wait for Cubini. I know you probably.
So
I know
she
you,
can tell you a lot of stuff like this boils down to local politics. You know, everything. Unfortunately, politics has crept its grubby tentacles into everything that we do. You know, it's basically ruined everything from the NFL to Marvel Comics.
well, you know what the thing is that you got to think about it. You live in a city, and the city is inside a state, and your state is inside a country, and so blah blah blah. So and there's a head of each thing, right? There's a mayor.
It all boils down to local politics.
Right. So at the end of the day, like somebody is the governing body of something, and at the end of the day, they have to like it's crazy. Not to give them an out or anything, but who's ever the governor of Oakland or whatever, they're taking heat for all of this, right? So you got to think it will come down to
but not enough. They're
politics,
going to get
good or
reelected.
bad. Say that again.
No, not enough because they're going to get reelected. Because there's a bunch of places over in California they're just basically vote blue no matter who. Like nobody pays attention to who they're voting for anymore. They want to blame this person, blame that person. Who's writing the policy? You know, who's the one that was talking about defunding the police in this area? Who's the one that's incentivizing criminals? Who's the one that's decriminalizing stealing up to $900 worth of merchandise when you go into Walgreens? You know. It was the one that
vote for local like house.
Yeah.
Local like mayor.
That's a problem too. Nobody cares enough to pay attention to it.
So like they mainly vote for president, and they think that's going to make the biggest change. But the problem is they're not voting for the little guys that make the changes within their town or city or whatever, and that's why we have all these issues.
Dodge man, I was actually just giving you a shout out about 10 minutes ago. I was saying the energy that I actually learned combos from just the the first 9 minutes of your video. So I just was giving you a credit, man, because I watched a bunch of videos and people just showed the combos to you and slowed it down, but you actually explained it and you actually showed the full 3-hit combo and why you don't do the last hit, blah blah blah. So I just wanted to thank you for that. But we was talking about you. All right, so let's move on. That's wild. That is wild. So we talked about the prisoner. Let's see. Do I want to get into the UAP stuff just yet? No, not yet. Let's get into this. Yeah. So let's get into a little Britney Spears gone wild, guys. Okay.
Here we go.
Why is it okay for Shakira to be at the VMAs dancing with knives, but we can't support Britney?
Hey, she was at the VMAs. I didn't watch that thing though. Was it good though? Her little segment. I know. I remember you were showing me. So cops reportedly visit Britney Spears' home due to her recent video of her dancing with knives. Now here's the thing. She was before dancing and all that, and now she's dancing with knives. I mean, now this thread, last time I checked it, was hilarious. So let's just go through the thread a little bit. People,
I just want to make sure they didn't hurt herself.
Look. They said, choose, you're a fighter. Yo, people are wild.
Hey, Cowboy.
Yes,
Britney
sir.
Spears next DLC Combat Pack 3.
She might be. Look. There you go. She might be. 15-year-old school shooter. Wait. Yeah, right. Here we go. Oh, because because other people was putting other stuff in here. But when I was look, they got her on Fruit Ninja. Hey man, people don't. The internet don't stop. Hold up, I seen something else funny here. Yeah, check it out.
She's cooking now, boy.
They said she was just cooking.
That's a lot of smoke.
Man. But I don't know what that has to do with anything. But hold up.
Wellness check on Britney. She posted a video of this.
I mean, I'm looking at this video, right? I gotta find. I wonder if the
assured them that she was not in any harm.
if the
Do you think
actual
Britney is
video-
okay? The police performed a wellness check on Britney Spears after she posted a video of her dancing with knives. Britney's security team let the police know that she was fine via intercom, not letting the officers go in to see her physically. Police also talked to Britney's attorney, who assured them that she was not in any harm. Do you think Britney is okay? The police performed a
Yeah, I honestly.
That's so stupid to me. So you called to get a wellness check on Britney Spears because she's making a TikTok of her
Right.
dancing with knives, but
I
nobody
mean-
got cut. She didn't injure nobody. She's not threatening nobody. Like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, really?
And I think it has to stem from her background, though. If she didn't do the whole cutting half her hair off thing. So I guess it's one of those things where what if she committed suicide and then people was like, and no one even showed up? She went live. So it's kind of like she
And
did it to herself, I guess.
Let's face it, a good 90% of celebrities are in no mental state to be handling sharp objects.
Yeah, I mean, but for her, she actually, put herself out there from her past. So unfortunately,
Let her live her best life, right? Leave the girl alone.
I'm living my best life.
I mean, at least they came to check on her. So
This is true.
you got to look at the positives. She still has some people that care enough to say, hey,
She can do what she wants because her dad was in control of everything.
FCAT
She's trying to
said-
make up for lost time.
FCAT said, oops, I did it again. Man, what's up, Michael? Is the Britney or Chris Jericho? Oh, man.
That ain't Drew McIntyre.
Yo, you didn't see Britney or Wolverine Origins. She's trying to stay relevant.
She still looks great.
Hey, Cubini. Yeah, she still does look good. Cubini, when are you getting on here, man? All right, let me see. Oh yeah, this one was wild, Sandy. Should we play this one now? Guys, I got something that was, well, first of all, let me say this. I just want y'all to know, this wild stuff, my wife is the one that be watching, all right? Just so y'all know. I'll be sitting next to, well, actually, you're watching TikTok, so it's not like your fault. It's not like you can, yeah.
That just shows you that I do watch it.
I love you.
And that just shows y'all if I ever die, I want y'all to
I
report
like
her.
crime investigation, okay?
Yeah, well, if I die, somebody better investigate that crime. But check this one out, Energy, in the chat.
Bodies and body parts in just months, and tonight, new grisly details of what the FBI says really happened.
ABC 15's Nicole Valdez is live, and Nicole, this paints a Frankenstein-like picture.
Yeah, it really does. Katie and Steve, closed for years. This building off 24th Street and University doesn't look like much, but according to new claims in these court documents, the Biological Resource Center was essentially running a chop shop for human body parts, mixing, matching, and selling them in ways we'd never heard of until tonight.
Described as unsettling, but it sounds a whole lot worse. One FBI agent revealing what it was really like inside the Phoenix body donation facility. In 2014, he saw everything from buckets of heads, arms, and legs to coolers filled with severed penises when the FBI raided the building.
Confused. The owner accused of selling bodies and body parts. A trial set to begin in just months. And tonight, new grisly details of what the FBI says really happened.
ABC 15's Nicole Valdez.
That is wild. Like, dude.
He saw everything from buckets of.
They said buckets. They said buckets of heads and penises. Well, I know Obi Rose would have loved that. You know, you could grab a free penis. But,
Eat a whole bucket of dicks.
Dude, like, now here's the thing. They did say that place was like a place that you donate stuff, but it's obviously there's some crazy stuff going on. You know what I mean? So
Who exactly was donating? How are they vetting these people? Where did the bodies
Right.
come from? There's so many questions.
So many questions.
What's up, the realest? And you know what's crazy too is the fact that they're probably gonna find a lot of missing people. Like, you know, it's probably a bunch of like there's a big epidemic going on in this country with missing people and stuff like that. And so
A lot of them are being
yeah.
trafficked. A lot of them are being experimented on.
Yeah.
Hostile.
Yeah. Realist, I know it's been a while since you've been here. It's a new format with the channel. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I got 4 totally separate things. Monday, we kind of do a gaming podcast, talk about all gaming. Tuesday, we do this reality talk show where we just talk about real stuff and crazy stuff, random stuff. Wednesdays is my wrestling league. We play WWE 2K 2023. And then Thursdays, kind of been playing some Mortal Kombat, but it's still Let's Get Random Thursdays where I may, you know, if there's something else I need to do, interview somebody or something, I can still use that day. So,
and look at how somebody lived with it. They said, keep eating impossible meat, always question everything.
I mean, that is crazy. But
See,
guys, let
and
me just think.
I was looking at that too. I didn't know if y'all wanted to get into that, but
Yeah.
my wife and
that was
I.
part of it. Like, that's what makes you look at it like, oh,
Yeah, my wife and me and a couple of the people at work were just talking the other day, and I said, you know, if you go to the Google Maps and whatnot, the little block that the Impossible headquarters is on, there are 3 buildings on that little block. There's their headquarters, there's a FedEx, and there's a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic. So that makes you think.
Hmm.
It's kind of crazy. But you would never know. How would you know? You know, you would never know.
No, it's definitely real. But I want to do this real quick. I want to thank Dodge, man. I appreciate the love, man. He donated $10 to Glad to Teach. When they add the online practice mode, we do some training. Anybody want to learn, more than happy to teach. Guys, I've watched a lot of Mortal Kombat 1 videos, and I promise you, I learned more in Dodge Man's first 9 minutes than all them videos. And so I want to link his channel. Here is
I was just going to ask you this.
Yep, here is his channel right here. So guys, check out Dodge Man. I'm telling you, he is a really nice guy, and he makes everything you know, like simple. And I'm telling you, I was watching it at work. Here's his channel, and at work I was like, oh, I could do that. Like, he made me feel like I could do that instead of just showing me some long crazy combo and then just slowing it down. Because still slowing down, I'm like, I didn't
Sometimes the simple combos are the best ones. I mean, you got your bread and butter. I mean, it's nice to be able to pull off that 30-hit combo or whatever, but if you can't do it consistently, then why not stick with the 8 or 10 hitter that you can actually get consistent damage with? You know, hit confirm and go into what you know.
Yeah, you're definitely right. And I think the thing is, the cool thing about Mortal Kombat is those super long combos, the longer it goes, the less damage it takes. So sometimes you could do
Diminishing
like
returns.
Say that again?
Diminishing returns.
Correct.
Mortal Kombat's always been good about that with their combos. The longer it goes, I mean, you might be able to uppercut somebody and it'll do 12% damage, but if the uppercut comes at the end of a 20-hit combo, it might do 6%.
Correct. Yes. So like you said, it might be beneficial to do a few 8-hitters. Now, the 20-hit combos, 30-hit combos are stylish. They look cool. But guys, definitely check out Dodge Man. I appreciate the donation, but more than that, man, I appreciate you teaching me some stuff, and I appreciate it because you actually made that stream and you had me in mind, and it was just from a conversation. He said, "Dude, I'll make a couple Scorpion videos." So he had me in mind. Not saying he just did it only for me, and he'd actually gave me a shout out in one of your recent videos. So I appreciate you, man. So yeah, this chop shop thing is definitely wild. Let me see. I'm eventually going to get in. I want to get into some of these guy versus girl stuff. But let's do this. Let's get into a little bit of controversial thing about school. Yeah, about schools. So let's do this. It is kind of real, but I'm curious what people have to say about it, though. So check this one out, guys. This is pretty much, do you guys think we need school? Now, obviously everyone's going to say yes. But just listen to this though, right?
Why do we spend 14 years at school, kindergarten, junior, middle school, high school, learning things that will be of no value that you can look up on the internet? My daughter had to learn the capitals of all the states and the names of the rivers in Canada going from left to right or west to east or whatever. Why? You can look that up. And anyone who learned those things, if you ask them now, they probably don't remember. But they didn't teach our kids how to balance a checkbook, how to balance a bank account. The things that I think would be really useful, they don't teach.
Now, I want to say this. Last week, and Energy, you will remember this. Last week, you guys was laughing at me a little bit because I didn't know that in the UK or in everywhere else in the world, I learned this from you guys, that states aren't states, they're called countries. So, and my son was laughing at me, how you didn't know that? I was like, bro, I graduated in 95. Well, why would I even remember that? So, but I think this guy video kind of has a point. But then again, I said to my wife, it does, but it doesn't, because imagine if you want to go to college, you're going to need that basic education from high school and more when you go to college. But if you don't go to college, I think it's fair to say a lot of what you learn, you'll probably never ever use again in a regular, society.
So I said what you should do is from kindergarten to elementary, you're just going to do like basic stuff, basic math, basic reading, basic science, history, blah, blah, blah. And then once you get to high school, if you want to learn like the more intricate stuff, they should be your electives.
So there are quite a few things to say about this. Back on your point about the states being states and countries all over the world is more like an interchangeable term. Like the state is another word for a country. It's just that we don't recognize that over here because like we don't see the 50 states as 50 different countries because we're the United States. But that's like separation of the state and federal government, for example. Like states have the ability to tell the federal government that if we don't agree with that law, we got something here locally that we take care of that on our own. They have the right to do that for like speeding laws, for instance, But as far as these schools go, to this guy's point, I did have an accounting class in my high school. Mm-hmm. So I did find out how to balance a checkbook while I was in school. But I mean, you're seeing a lot of people, especially since COVID kind of opened people's eyes on just what exactly is going on in schools. And you're seeing more and more people homeschooling their kids because, like this guy said, you can look up a bunch of this stuff on the internet, provided that they don't censor it. My own daughter, before she even started preschool, she already knew her colors, her numbers. She knew how to read. She knew her alphabet. She knew how to count to 100. Like she taught herself all of this before she was 4 years old. So, I mean, that there's an increasing awakening, I guess you would call it, to basically teachers unions not caring so much about our children as they do their own interests. And it's one of them things, just like politics, we got to pay attention to what our kids are learning. We are the ones at the end of the day that's got to teach our kid how to be a contributing member of society.
Yeah, I agree. I always used to say that because a lot of people would blame schools, but no, you're the parent. So at the end of the day, there's certain stuff that you need to teach your kids at the end of the day.
Which is why it sucks. Like I know some people can't really put a bunch of time into it because they're single parents or whatever, right. But a lot of that is still on you. You've got to make the time for your kids, no matter how many jobs you're working, no matter what you got going on. Your kids are the most important thing you're going to leave behind.
It's real. Yeah, it's deep, man. Let me play this thing one more time. Yeah, I mean, it's only 28 seconds.
Why do we spend 14 years at school, kindergarten, junior, middle school, high school, learning things that will be of no value that you can look up on the internet? My daughter had to learn the capitals of all the states and the names of the rivers in Canada going from left to right or west to east or whatever. Why? You can look that up. And anyone who learned those things, if you ask them now, they probably don't remember. But they didn't teach our kids how to balance a checkbook, how to balance a bank account. The things that I think would be really useful, they don't teach.
I probably don't remember 90%.
It's at school, kindergarten.
Like, I'm dead serious. Like, because in school it was a lot, right? It was a lot of history, it was a lot of math, it was a lot of, social economic. It was a lot. And so when I'm being honest with you, like, what do I like? I was a fan of science, so I remember, dinosaurs and stuff like that. But I mean, I probably don't remember 90% of what I learned. All right.
It's
I'm
not a daily thing in your life.
Yeah, not retaining it.
Well, a couple of things too, especially like as far as history and whatnot, and like you said, science. Like, you're a big fan of science. I was a big fan of dinosaurs and geography and stuff like that growing up. But not every kid is going to be interested in that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So, like, kids only really pick up on what they're interested in. Everything else they kind of blow off. And the subjects that they do pay attention to, like, you kind of look at in a totally different way when you're a kid. Like in fourth grade, you can learn about World War II and that the Nazis were really bad. But when you grow up and you start looking into, holy cow, they were doing this to people, it's like, whoa.
Right. Yeah, when you further your interest. What's up, Chariot Man is in the building. Say what's up to us. And Obi is here. Facts. What up, chat? And what up, Cowboy and Cowgirl? What's up, man?
What up, Obi?
Obi, there was a good story you missed. They were talking about bodies being chopped up, and there was a bucket of penises. You would have loved that part because you could have grabbed a free penis. But yeah, I mean, this is real. Now check this out, guys. We're gonna go into a little bit of this. Obviously, you knew it was coming. But bam, guys, is anyone shocked? Netflix reportedly plans on raising prices in several markets globally once the actor strike ends, likely starting with the US and Canada. But I feel like Netflix just recently did raise their prices.
I was just gonna say that they just raised their prices.
So but I mean, that's what I was saying the other day when people was getting mad at the Sony thing. Everything is going up, and people somebody I know was like, yeah, but usually when things go up, you get something out of it. I'm like, the hell you do? I was like, my mortgage, every time it goes up, I don't get nothing extra. The water bill goes up, I don't get nothing extra. Yeah, so Netflix going up. What extra they gonna give us? No, they're gonna make some story of how they had to raise their prices. Well, probably because they lost because a bunch of their shows didn't come out. So because of the writer strike. But I mean, so I just wanted to bring that up because prices are going up.
Here we are again talking about diminishing returns, and it's more and more over the last few years, Hollywood is kind of going down the toilet because they're just not putting out good material these days. Like these studios keep interfering, and they think they know what people want to see, and the people keep telling them, no, this is trash, I don't want to watch this, and they're voting with their wallets, and Hollywood's losing money. So now the studio's turning to AI to write better stories than these screenwriters. So the screenwriters want to go on strike because the product is shit, and now we're going to pay more money for an increasingly more and more terrible product. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I guess these companies can keep screwing up until they either go bankrupt or get on board with what people actually want to watch.
You know what's crazy too? Socially, we're tuned in to watch something. Like my wife and I, we went a couple weeks with no show. I was kind of like busy getting into I was playing a lot more games. I don't know what I was doing, but somehow we just wasn't watching a bunch of shows. So then we were like, okay, now we need a show to watch. But to be honest with you, some shows we watch, we could have not watched it. We're humans. We just need something to do. Let's be honest. We just need something to keep us busy when we have nothing to do.
And that's one of the things I'm loving about this channel. I mean, with the We Wrestle Wednesdays is giving me something to do on Wednesday night, something that I really enjoy doing. And, even Thursdays last week, I kind of went quiet halfway through the stream because I was getting frustrated and I didn't want to bring the vibe down. But
Right.
you know, it's like I know I'm better than this. And Dodge Man just mopping us up. I'm like,
Oh, he was tearing us up, man.
man. I finally got that one win at the end of the stream, but I'm like, dang, man, that's.
Mhm.
And of course, you know, he's like a combo master, and I'm picking one of the hardest characters to master.
Yeah, man. It's just, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I appreciate
It is
you
what
saying
it
that
is,
about the
but I still-
Wednesdays because I look at it just like you. It's one of
Mhm.
it's my favorite day because I enjoy it so much. Especially Mortal Kombat is great, but wrestling is so unpredictable. It's like a story, like where like it
Yeah,
means so
it's an
much to me to
ongoing
play that with
story.
you guys.
And you know, we got our own thing going too. We got our own little like rivalries and feuds
Yeah.
and teams and whatnot. And like just last week, they were talking about like they didn't want to deal with like me and Bio as a team. But you know, so we went ahead and took them tag straps. But you know,
I love it, man.
I
Well,
love seeing stuff like that. But as far as the shows go, you know, I mean, TV's just gotten so boring to me. All I'm watching recently is wrestling, and I just like started rewatching Dragon Ball Z. Like,
oh wow.
but yeah, it's just nothing catching my interest, you know.
Well, let me do this. I'm gonna bring in Q Beanie. Yes, he's here, but I got a hot topic. All right. So let me bring in friend of the show, Q Beanie. He was driving me crazy. That he was driving me crazy, and he was able to take it on the chin. Like, yeah, hey, listen, man, I want to speak my mind. So I think that's cool for a friend. But guys, hot topic. Ready for
What's
this?
up?
Obi says only thing we need is history. I disagree. I don't like history. I've never been a fan of history. And let me just say this, and I'm gonna let y'all guys go. Being black, I feel I watch more negativity be used, not even being black. Okay, let me not say that. But being how do I say it? I don't think it's because I'm black, but okay, maybe because I'm black. I feel that I've watched, and this is weird. I watch more black people use history to try to prove a point just to be negative. And it always bothered me because I felt I just want to be cool with everybody. And I've watched different cultures, different races weaponize history. And so for me, now I get it. Some people say you need to know where you came from, know where you're at, but I don't know. I just feel like for me, history has shown more negative than positive. Like when I think of people saying, "Let me look back at history," people are quick to take the injustice in history and bring that up versus, "Oh, look at the good stuff." And I don't know. So Rose, I have to say, I'm not a history guy. So that's a hot topic.
I think the things you need in life, like basic skills in school, would be reading, math, science, stuff like that. But history, I get why he would say history, but
Right.
it's like Energy was saying, like, yo, if you don't have an interest, you're not gonna remember this stuff. So being an adult and hearing about history, like you said, it's a lot more negative stuff that you hear, and I agree with that. I think it's more negative that people bring out from history than positive. And it's hard to like sit there and want to hear about it or debate about it because it turns into a negative debate.
Right. It's
And
always
you just keyed in on it, Sandy. You said to want to hear about it, and that's where again with politics screwing everything up, that politics becomes something that's so like grating and irritating that people tune it out and they want to get away from it. So politics just kind of gets involved with everything, including rewriting history. And it kind of gets us into a point where history is important. We need to remember it. We need to know what happened. We need to know the goods and the bads. But specifically, like world governments, like why did certain governments fail? Why did some become what they did? You know, again, we go back to Nazi Germany. You know, what led up to that, and what can we do to avoid that in the future? And if these politicians can rewrite history, if they want to see that come over here per se, you know, all they got to do is get people so disinterested or so annoyed with the subject they don't look into it, and they can start implementing those same policies
Well,
here.
it's like It's like
You know?
Sandy said about local government, right? A lot of people don't vote for that. But let me bring in
Mhm.
Jers. I don't want to leave him back there for too long. Jers is coming in the building. And I also want to, what's up, Jers? How you doing today, man? I know you said you had a topic you wanted to bring up earlier. We'll get into that, but let me check the chat. Right now, hot topic. Obi said the only thing we need is history. And I said I disagree because I don't like history because I feel people always weaponize history to bring up some negative stuff. Chubini, you got anything on that you want to say?
Not really, but did you notice I sent you $10?
Oh, yeah, I did see I did see it pop up here. Thank you very much for
Yeah,
saying
a
that
little
because I
piece
seen
of
it
the
pop
pie
up and I
for the
was
channel, brother.
talking.
Sure.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate the donations. You guys definitely, I mean, listen, it is cool. Like, I do love doing this just because it's my social time. My wife will tell you, I get excited. I come in here. So yesterday when I was a little down, she was like, what's wrong? But it does reinforce like, hey man, this is cool because people don't have to donate. And I donate just like other people. I've definitely went to people's channel and donated too. But I think it make you fit. It's an extra feeling when you're like, oh man, you don't have to give me a cent. And there's no sign that says donate. Well, actually, I think I do have a thing scrolling across the screen that says donate. But that's just like the regular thing you do. But I just want to say thank you, guys. Thank you for that. You know.
Yeah, it goes into the group, so I'm good with it.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
But as far as this goes, I don't really have much to say about it. I'll be honest.
But real quick before I forget the point I was going to add on to there too. I mean, Cowboy, like you say that we.
Hey, who got the X-Men thing? Who got the X-Men thing? That's dope. Jersey,
Out of my ringtone.
Yo, Jersey, you ain't old enough to know about that X-Men cartoon, bro.
Sorry, that was, yeah, that was my wife. Yeah, I gotta go help with her for something real quick. But real quick, I mean, was us like you said, like history being something that you like, all the negativity gets focused on and it becomes disinteresting. It is on each and every one of us to push past that negativity and kind of pay attention to what's happened before again, so we don't repeat the mistakes of the past. But I'll be right back, y'all.
All right, what's going on with Black Dragon? I'm gonna wait to get to the when he comes back, then we could actually do the political topic because I know he wanted to wait for you to come on here, Cubini. What's up? I want to say what's up to Black Dragon. What's up to Goon Squad? I seen they both came into the building. But yeah, so Jers, what's your thoughts on the whole is history important?
Yeah, I agree with Obi, man. We have to learn from history or we're gonna repeat it. And I think that's what's happening in the last few years, with the rioting and all that craziness, man. We're not learning from our mistakes. Martin Luther King protesting, and people don't understand. Like they're repeating it over and over, and I don't think young people see that. I think we need to learn from it and figure things out, rather than not look at history, then do it all over again. You know what I mean?
You know what's crazy? I don't think so I feel like we've come so far in society, we know what's right and we know what's wrong. You didn't have to see slavery to know that that's wrong nowadays. So I feel like kids don't need to know that happened. You would figure you would just know like that's right or wrong. Like, hey,
but what they're saying is,
that's right or wrong. Hey,
saying slavery was wrong because you realize that it was wrong.
That's
so,
right.
like, him saying like history is important because history is something that taught you to learn wrong from right over time and not do something again. So I get that point, but I think what you're trying to say is people just only want to use the negative to their advantage of like debating about something.
Not true.
Instead of like, saying, oh, I learned from this. They're saying, no, this is what happened.
No, but think about it. I've watched history. Living in the black community, I watched black people use history so they could be racist to white people. Like I grew up seeing that, and I was like, yo, that's not even cool. What do you mean? You see what they did to us? I'm like, you weren't even there. Like, but people like they really leaned into that. Like, they felt like no. And so I think a lot of stuff has got a lot better. Obviously, I'm 47, so it was a long time when I was a kid and when I was a young adult. But I've watched, like, it's one thing for me to be like, oh, I seen white people do it. No, I'm speaking from my own. Like, I've seen black people do it, But with that being said, let me bring in the guy who kind of sparked this a little bit. Obi Rose is in the building.
Yo.
Obi, man, I feel bad.
What up?
You missed the whole part about the penises and the buckets, and I knew you would have
Wow.
loved
Wow.
it, bro.
Stop. Listen, I'm gonna need you to stop telling everybody what you be doing at night. I'm sorry that the cowgirl had to find it out this way. Just want to throw that out there. But listen, I got like 5 minutes. I want to say this real quick. I had to jump in on it. Yo, we need history, right? Like, I understand both parts of it. Like, you got to be engaged in history. But to your point, Cowboy, I have seen reverse racism like no tomorrow. I mean, I'm talking black people who just hate white people just because they white and slaves have it. Yo, let me tell you something. You wasn't a slave, right? But that don't mean you can't learn from it and repeat those mistakes. You said something like, yo, we've come to a place where we should know what's right and wrong. Well, hell, we can't even get it right with guns, right? And I'm not making this about guns, but no 16-year-old needs an AR-15. I don't care who you are or where you're from. We should all agree with that. But we got 16-year-old kids crossing state lines and shooting people. Whatever side you fall on, that's not my problem. We don't know what's right and wrong is the issue. And because that stuff is not taught in school, it becomes a problem. Like you said, we should know how to balance a checkbook, but we don't. Why? Because we know how to spell MISSISSIPPI. Because we make little fun games and jokes of rivers and states and capitals, like the dude said on the video. But we don't teach our children how to balance checkbooks. We don't teach them about credit. We don't teach them about how to finance it and do well and how to take care of your needs before your wants. But God forbid they don't know the capital of New Jersey. They get an F on a test. They think they're dumb. That makes no sense to me. We gotta keep with history. History's like the most important thing. From history, you can dwindle down from there. Obviously, you need some science.
Well, let
right?
me hold on. Let me ask you a question. History's been history, meaning it's been the beginning of our existence. If you're just complaining that we're still doing all this crazy stuff now, I think that shows history ain't helped nothing.
No. I'm not complaining. That's not my complaint. My complaint is, you said we should know this by now, but we don't. Why? Because we whitewash everything. I don't care who it is. Everybody got a white lie. We white lie everything about everything.
Obi, I got a question for you.
What's up, dude?
So, back on what you were saying about guns and like 16-year-olds not needing AR-15s, do you think the stance on that would be different if maybe we taught gun safety on a first or second grade level?
Absolutely. But then here's my rebuttal to that. How are you going to teach a first grader about a gun? Like, if you really think about that, because
the first thing you teach them is not a toy. I mean, my daughter at 5 years old knew about gun safety because, I've got a Beretta, and she knew whenever we get home, we take the bullets out of it, we clear the chamber, we don't mess with it, we don't point it at anybody that's not trying to hurt us.
See, that's smart. That's real smart. Like, and I'm not trying to change topics here. That's real smart. I seen something the other day in Virginia where a dude, some YouTube guy, I don't know what he was doing. Some YouTube guy decides he's going to go and prank this guy. Dude pulled out a gun and shot him. That was the craziest thing I ever seen in my life. Now, would gun safety have helped there? Absolutely not. That kid should have been beat. Listen, if you grew up in the hood I grew up in, where Cowboy grew up, yo, you didn't talk trash to people because you got smacked in the face. There was a point in time where getting your shoes, your coat, and your hat taken was a real thing, and you knew not to mess with the next man because you might get shot, right? Like my brother lived in Texas. He's a military man. All his whole family, his youngest son at the age of 16 knew how to handle an AR-15. I wasn't mad that he knew how to do that, but he never bought him one. You see what I'm saying? There's a big difference. And they lived in Texas. That's where it gets even better. And my brother used to say to me, everybody got a gun down here in Texas. That's why you don't see too many fights, because you don't know who's packing and who's not. And you can conceal carry. I can understand that. I don't hate guns. I don't hate anybody who has guns. But we got to address the issue where 16-year-olds are being able to walk around and just conceal and carry. That's a problem.
I think it's two issues. One is we're all individuals. So what your 16-year-old might do might be different from my 16-year-old.
This
but
is true.
The second part
I was going to say the same thing. I mean, we got to deal with the issue of 16-year-olds feeling like they have to carry.
This is true. Like
violence or whether it be protection, either way.
Yeah, like think about this, right? Like a 14-year-old in Arkansas, and I'm going back to like 1970, right? A 14-year-old in Arkansas should have a driver's license. Why? Because he working a farm. He better know how to drive a tractor, right? Mm-hmm. That makes sense, right? Now, does that mean that all 14-year-olds need to drive? Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. There has to be a case and a point. But I think we as a society and we as a whole, we have gotten away from common sense. It starts in our schools because if you think about it, your children are away from you for 8 hours of a day. Right. If you really break down a day, right? All right, so let's say you wake up normal time, 7 o'clock, you and your kids are at work by 8 or by 9, you're home by 5. Okay, you're in bed. If you're a normal family, you're in bed by 9 o'clock. So you really only get 4 hours with your family. But those other 8 hours, what was your child learning? He's learning. He's telling me. You see what I'm saying? He could tell me about the Atlantic Ocean. Wow, cool, great job, son. Can you tell me what to do with this $20,000 in debt I got with the interest rate on my house of 7.7%? No. And that's more stuff that we need to start teaching that's just my personal opinion. We need to teach our children to grow as a society. We need to teach better money management skills. And not only money management skills, we need to teach better psychological thinking management skills.
Here's the issue. That is a broad, you're saying we,
it's a broad
everybody. But the thing is, being a parent is is an individual thing. Now, that's why school is school, because it's a faculty. It's supposed to be across the board. Obviously, every school isn't equal. But again, all schools aren't teaching kids what you're saying, what they should learn. So it's up to the parents. But then there's parents who are, like Energy was saying, aren't responsible. Maybe they're single parents, they're at work. So it's a lot. This is why this topic isn't abroad, but
I agree.
There are things that we can do as parents. So if the schools aren't teaching our kids what we think they should be learning, then that's on us to pull our kids out of those schools and put them somewhere they are going to learn that homeschooling if need be.
Energy. I was just thinking about this. You know what's crazy? I was just saying that, right? Like, I got nothing against anybody, and I'm not going to jump into all of it. But I will say this: how can you pull your kid out of a school when you don't have the money? Because that's what America's run on. America's all about capitalism, right?
Sure.
So how can you pull your kid out of a bad? All right, so I'm gonna use where I grew up at, right? How am I gonna pull my kid out of Trenton High when I can't afford to put him in Nottingham High? And I know, and I'm pretty sure you don't know what those areas are, but Trenton High is pretty much the ghetto. You go 2 streets over, you're in Hamilton, like legit. And guess what? My kid can't afford to go to Steiner or Nottingham. And if they can't afford to go to Steiner or not, it's
again, if need be, it's homeschool. Homeschooling is always an option. A lot of times
that is very, very true.
And there are more and more communities popping up across the country that we're like coming together, where like neighborhoods will start homeschooling their kids, and they'll invite like 8 or 10 other families to, hey, drop your kids off at here. I'll teach them anything they need to know, math, science, whatever. So that's on us to come together as communities. That's another thing you were saying. Again, with the black and white thing, the government's always going to try to keep us divided, whether it be black and white, old and young, gay or straight, whatever the case may be. Yeah. They're going to keep us divided, so we're not paying attention to what the hell they're doing to screw us over.
Yeah, I will say this. I think once we get to a place where, and I'm not being funny. I said this to this kid earlier today. I said, how's your day going? He's like, I'm stressing about this. I'm stressing about that. And I just looked at him. I said, how old are you? So I'm 22. I said, what do you really got to think about? He said, I just got to pay my bills, really. I said, so why are you worried about the rest of the BS? And the reason I'm bringing that up is because I feel like if we as a society stop worrying, I love the one thing Cowboy said as I was walking in the house. He was like, me and Sandy, we was just, I was working or whatever. We didn't need to watch something, but we're trying to do something to fill our time. If we could get away from the fill our time void, and start doing more constructive things, like you said. Take it back to like the 1700s, right? I'm not even being funny. Take it back to the 1700s, right? The dudes will go out, they go get these big burly bears and fish and stuff, and the women would sit there and watch the kids, and it was a family and it was a community and it worked. Why? It wasn't about people knowing their place. It was a community. Everybody got along. Yeah, you might not like the one dude from the one tribe, but it worked better. Why? Because we didn't have all this BS taking our time and stuff away from us. Everybody's trying to buy the new iPhone watch. It's just another distraction. How many more distractions do we need? I hate to tell you, YouTube is going to end up putting Netflix and the likes of Hulu out of business because of what you said, Energy. You're not going to listen to us when we tell you we don't want this or we don't want that. Well, screw it. I don't find myself watching TV anymore. And I'm not saying it's just because Cowboy's my friend. I literally look forward to his show because it's substance. It's not some BS that I got to deal with on Netflix and worry about it cutting out. Who's going to kill the next person in Squid Games? Do I really care about that? That's just not even real. Like, I'm not trying to be funny.
Kind of cool, though.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm just saying. You know what I mean?
Well, I got you,
guys, listen. That's my time. I got to get out of here. I got the 5-year-old. I got it. I'll be listening to you. Hey, bless y'all. Great conversation.
Definitely.
I love being a part of this, man. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for jumping in when you could.
On what Obi was saying too, there's people stress about a lot of things in life, and one of the most important pieces of advice that I've ever been given is you got to focus on the things that you can control. you know, and everything else will just fall into place. You know, if you go to work, you focus on doing a good job and you focus on making money, then your financial problems eventually will work themselves out. You know, you can't worry about what bills are coming in or what, like, you prioritize what you can and work from there. You know, you can't worry about, you know, what if some guy wrecks into the telephone pole down the street and the power goes out in my house? I can't control that, so there ain't no point in stressing over that. You know?
Oh yeah, that's always been kind of one of my mottos. Is like I don't worry about what I can't control, so that's always helped me sleep at night. It's like I was young enough to go through a lot. I got married at 18, so I was young and dumb enough to put a lot of difficulties on myself at a young age. But it helped me as I got older because I knew like there's stuff you could control, there's stuff you can't. But let me move on a little bit. I want to say what's up to Nikki is in the building late, but she's here. I got to mess with her. My guy Black Dragon is here. We met in high school. He said I went to Trenton High and that place was a cesspool. That's where I graduated from. He also said this might be a little bit off topic, but I really wish YouTube would shut down these prank channels. Unfortunately, someone lost their life messing with the wrong person. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Everybody want to be the next Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, Tony is in the building. What's up, Tony? Said people will be lovers of themselves and will have no respect for others. That's what's happening right now. Yeah, I mean, Sarah Blow is in the building. Let me see. All right, so let me bring up something that Nikki, we're going to bring up something a little crazy. Nikki wanted me to bring this up, and why you
said my best friend Nikki Sandy is so jealous of our friendship.
Okay, so I'm like, why are you laughing? So Nikki wanted me to ask you guys this. She said, what if you were going to investigate something paranormal, like ghosts or whatever, and you get there and it's actually extraterrestrial? Like, how would you handle it? And I was kind of like, I mean, I don't know. We never like seen an extraterrestrial, so, but I mean, what if, right? You hear like lights is flickering and stuff, and you think it's a ghost thing, right? And so you go in there like, let's say you're not trying to investigate because you're not a ghost hunter, but let's say you're doing something like, hey, we want to do let's go to this haunted thing just to see if we can stay the night, or we want to go to go and record it. Let's see if it's really haunted, and crazy enough, you see like a crashed spaceship.
Obi said I'm noping out.
You say what?
Obi said I'm noping out. I gotta concur there.
What if it's a cute little green alien? You want to take him home?
I don't know about all that.
You could be my new friend. You could teach me and I could teach him.
Be like, what's up, bro? Take me to your leader.
Take me to your leader. If an alien, right. He said, if it's an alien, the fingers gotta go like signs.
Oh yeah.
Mister, you gonna let him probe you? He said I'm black. I don't mess with ghosts. I ain't no Ghostbuster. But what about the aliens? But yeah, I mean, she asked me to ask that, and it's interesting though because that would be a cool movie actually. Like, imagine a movie like these guys. They make the movie look like they're ghost hunters. That's what they do, and they're diehard ghost hunters. They got the EKGs and not the EKGs. They got the EVP things and everything, right? And they go to a building or something and come to find out it's not even a ghost movie, it becomes an alien movie.
If it's an alien,
yeah. That sounds like Paul. That was a funny movie.
Wrong.
It does sound like Paul, actually. That was funny. But anyway, what I'm gonna do now is pull up this thing. So I finally got I got a energy, and I got Cubini on the same show. Not that you guys haven't been on here before, but
I don't know why
we're
I'm
gonna bring
getting drawn
it
into
up.
this, but okay.
So Cubini told me about this. Let me magnify it. So, I found out, Sandy. This is what was been wrong with my YouTube. So I'm like, yo, why is my YouTube super large? I had to magnify it on my computer, and I never put it back. So on my phone, because it syncs. Yeah, I'm like, yo, what the hell? Like, I'm thinking the update did it. And then when I went on yesterday, and I was like, oh, wait, my YouTube is like at 200%. I made it smaller, and it took time for it to fix on my phone. Funny. Anyway, so Cubini, take us through this, man. Explain this to us.
I mean, I really haven't been following what's going on. I guess the government shutdown triggered a vote, and the speaker's out. So
Bye bye.
he said back in January that he agreed that this could happen if they chose to, and they chose to, and he's out. So.
And you said this is the first time in how long there haven't been a speaker?
Ever, as far as I know.
Wow.
This has never happened.
Yeah, it's never happened.
It's been a while. So what it boils down to is there's two factions in the Republican Party right now. There's one of them that's wanting to basically work hand in hand with the Democrats, kind of like a uniparty, where there's really no difference between the two. And there's one wing of the Republican Party that wants to get back to like values and structure and like cutting taxes, getting rid of all this extra spending. We don't have the money to be sending to Ukraine, like all that. They want to get back to just simple, basic, family values and whatnot. And when McCarthy got the vote, he agreed to work with basically everybody. He agreed to work with Democrats and kind of come to compromises on some things, but he also he said that he would work with that wing of the Republican Party that wanted to get back to the basics. And basically everything he's doing is voting against their interests. So they're like, if you're not going to live up to your end of the bargain, we're just going to vote to have you ousted as speaker. And that's what ended up happening. This newest government shutdown, that wing of the Republican Party didn't want to be spending like $8 billion in Ukraine or whatever. We got our own problems to fix over here. And he basically went behind closed doors and worked with the Democrats and sent a bunch more money to Ukraine.
Yeah, Matt Gaetz, he's the one that called for the vote. So,
yep.
I don't know if you guys remember the vote back in January. That shit took forever to get McCarthy in. I remember watching that. That was ridiculous. But
yeah, because he had to make all the concessions.
I sent you another link in the reality talk page there, Cowboy, in Discord. It's some reactions. There's a tweet there I want to show you.
Let me ask you guys this. What do you think this is going to mean, though?
I think it means that more and more, honestly, it means we got to get involved in politics more as communities and as citizens. We got to start paying more attention to who the hell we're voting in on a local level and on a national level. That's what it basically boils down to. We got to vote in people that have our best interests at heart. And if they ain't doing what they said they're going to do, we need to vote them the hell out.
Yep.
That's deep. Here, let me play this with QB.
Very difficult job.
It's just,
I think it's about 100.
Just screw on it, yeah.
Well, I think the first thing to point out is these people who kicked out Kevin don't have a plan B. You'll recall when John Boehner was kicked out about 8 years ago, they had no plan B, and it took about a month of begging Paul Ryan to take the job. Now we're right in the middle of the budget hunt. We need a speaker so desperately, and the more I think about it, I don't think anybody else wants the job right now. The speaker is a very difficult job. I think it's about a 110-hour-a-week job, running all over the country, not seeing your family, putting up with a bunch of, quite frankly, malcontents who blame you for their unhappiness. Well, I think the first thing to point out is these people who kicked out Kevin don't have...
Yeah, man, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't follow politics at all. I know my wife works with Division of Elections, but she doesn't like super follow it. She knows laws and all that stuff, but and she can't really talk about that anyway because it's her job. But yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys filling me in.
He's right. That job is very demanding, and it does seem like nobody wants it. So I don't know. Maybe it's more bad timing than anything, is what he's saying. Like, this isn't the time to be kicking out the speaker, but I don't know. I wasn't following. I just know what happened this afternoon. So I wanted to report it.
In many ways, in many ways, that job's more of a pain in the ass than being president because, I mean, if you really think about it, most politicians are idiots, and there's 360 members of the House of Representatives, so that's 360 of the stupidest people in the country all arguing about shit they know nothing about. and
Yeah,
you got to
you're-
moderate all that and give people what they want, and and keep the citizens' best interests in mind, and because ultimately they all work for us.
I mean,
They
the
all
other
seem
thing
to like that.
is you're third in command. So if the president and
Yeah.
VP get killed, you're president.
Yep.
So, oh, and I did notice today, Nancy Pelosi did not vote on this. She did not vote. I'm very surprised by that, but
She needs to get out of office. Period.
she
Yep.
is. I think
Yep.
she's just running for her local state or whatever now. But
Her, Schumer, I would say Frankenfeinstein, but she's dead now. So
we need a clean house for sure. There's a bunch of relics in there for sure.
all these people that have been in for 60, 70, 80 years. I mean, the longer you're in power, the more corrupt you become. That's proven throughout history.
Yeah, but
Let me
we
read
can't.
what Gilbert. Let me read what Gilbert said. He said, "I agree. Look back at the old days. This was a part-time job that they did after they got off work. Not a go here and get rich, screwing over others."
It also used to be a job where you weren't, you basically had to reside in the district that you represented, so you could be more in tune with what the citizens of your area wanted, not people that live in DC and just take votes and they're completely separated from their constituents. But for whatever reason, they had a vote, what was it, 10, 15 years ago, where people could actually stay in DC, and that's screwing everything up because they're just more and more disconnected from the people that voted them in.
That's wild, man. Yeah, I mean, it's deep. I would love to see where things go. Once upon a time, the most I was into politics was I had just leased my a 2016 Kia Optima, and it came with satellite radio. And so I found myself listening to Fox. Then I would switch and turn to CNN, and I would go back and forth just to hear how crazy they both was from each other and how similar they would be at times. And so I used to every day, she would get in the car. I'm like, why are you listening to politics? I don't know. It's interesting. I would listen to the news, and it was just interesting just to listen to both. But I had no affiliation with either or, so I thought I had a lot of interest for those 3 years when I had that car. Then when I took the car back, I just didn't feel like paying for satellite radio anymore. But yeah, plus the new car I got didn't have the satellite radio hookup, and I would have had to pay to get all this extra stuff on the side. I forget about it. But I think it's definitely interesting. It's a big part of politics, a big part of our lives. However, some people can be blind to it and just kind of not pay attention to what's going on around.
I mean,
just like
if you look at it from the outside, with the Trump situation, with this today, if you look at it with a biased view, it looks a little one-sided right now. So yeah, I can see where there's a lot of controversy going on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be crazy. Next year is going to be insane. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know. Old man Biden wins again or not? I don't even know.
Next year is definitely going to be wild. I would be honest with you guys. Whether you guys hate me or not, I was way more into politics when Trump was, or I was way more in tune with what was going on with the country when Trump was in, because he was always,
he made it interesting.
He made it interesting. So for a person like me that don't follow politics, I couldn't help but to wonder what was going on in the world and the news. And soon as he was out and Biden was in, I literally know nothing. Like
I was the same way, dude.
Off.
Like I followed politics for a while, but when Trump got in, it just everybody got the popcorn and ready to see the smoke.
Yeah.
But I'm be real. When Biden got in office, I stopped looking at it. I'm like, you know what? This is a joke. I don't even care anymore. But then I'm really paying attention. Like, dude, it's so corrupt. It's not even funny. It's in our faces, and these people who voted for him still can't see it. It's unbelievable. It really is.
And he has like a 45-point lead right now in the polls.
And Trump is still winning
for next year. Yeah, Trump's got a huge lead. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? I think it's like sports, video games. It's
Yeah, it is.
tribalism. You pick
Now
a
it
side,
is.
and you just act like you don't
It's true.
see anything
It's
that
true.
goes against your side.
And see, I think I brought this up last week or the week before. Politics and religion, it's the same way. The reason that it gets so grating to a lot of people, especially like third parties listening in, is because eventually when you have this conversation get started up, you're going to come across somebody that knows absolutely nothing about what they're talking about. And they're going to get in an argument with somebody that knows way too much about what they're talking about. And everybody else is like, what the hell are we listening to? This is a stupid ass argument.
Well, here's a quick question. Politics aside, policies aside, is this country ready for 4 more years of Trump?
I think so. I think
absolutely,
I
bro.
think we're not ready for anything else, honestly.
I don't really think
Dude, I'm gonna be honest, man. If
I
by
mean, he had really
happenstance-
good policies. He really did.
Listen,
Yeah.
by
was early on.
happenstance, right? If Biden got voted back, let's just say that for crap and giggles, right?
Yeah.
If Biden got, dude, you know how much uproar that will be, bro? That's not even funny, because I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lot of people who voted for Biden who will not vote for him again.
The people in the White House are terrified every time he hits a set of stairs. I mean,
the guy came and
Well, look
finished
what
the
Darth
speech,
Kermit
man.
said.
Like,
Darth
come on,
Kermit
man.
said, please don't vote for anyone over 65.
I mean, we've had that debate.
But Trump is
you know,
coherent, though. He's here with us. Like, he understands what's going on. Biden does not, bro. Like, you ever hear him talk? Yeah, anyway, look.
But I'm just saying,
what?
like,
No,
politics
hold on.
aside, you know, can we handle him, you know?
Ron, I don't know if you saw, but as soon as they said David Duke endorsed him last time, he was like, I don't give a shit about David Duke. He can endorse who he wants, but
Dude,
I
don't
care
say
about,
that,
like,
man. Ron, come on, bro. Like, listen, stop,
Yeah.
dude. Like, you're listening
It's
to
like,
what you
don't-
want to
don't-
believe, brother.
Yeah,
Stop.
don't
I
believe
think he's
you're
probably
being
just
told,
thinking
man.
about one of the things. Remember when he said that?
Nah, see, but that's what I'm saying. People misconstrued that
Good
a
people
lot.
on both sides. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I think
The
it's
good
like
people-
if I said there's good people on Xbox and good people on PlayStation. Yeah.
That ain't true.
KKK.
That ain't true.
It's terrible.
The
It's
people
terrible.
that go back to that good people on both sides, they still miss the entire sentence. In that same damn sentence, he specifically said, I'm not talking about the white nationalists. They need to be condemned wholeheartedly. I'm talking about that whole argument started because there were people that wanted to tear statues down, and there were people that wanted to leave statues up because we need to remember the history there. There were people on both sides of that argument that made valid points, is what he was trying to say.
It's just like January 6th, man. They misconstrue the whole freaking thing.
So I think you guys might have a change of mind. You heard, Cowboy guys?
Yeah.
You guys might
what I
change
wanna
your
say
mind with the video I'm going to show Cowboy when he's ready to see it.
All right, so listen, yeah, because I want to move past the pilot. I think we spent a good bit of time on this, but it's cool that the three of you guys actually got something in common that you guys probably didn't know at all. So
I think the more and more people talk, the more and more they find that they have more in common than they have different.
Yeah, it's like a melting pot. So let me break this up.
Yes, and they're already trying to get Trump off the ballot.
They will
Listen,
not
I'm gonna break
convict
this
him.
up.
They're just trying to delay shit.
And I'm going to bring a TikTok, and so this is gonna break it up a little bit because the question I got for you guys is, let me see, do you think women should feel this way? So
I'm going to say no right off the bat.
damn.
Is that why
All right.
Sandy's on the stream today? Is about all the sexist thing? We got to have the moderator.
Is this
here.
the one with the guy talking to like the 10 girls at the table? And he has like different
no.
women all the time. I've seen those. They're terrible.
All right, so
Men
you
don't
ready?
want ambitious women. Oh my God, I already disagree. But go ahead.
He's already disagree. All right, guys, check this out.
I don't think guys value ambition as much as we do and we seek as women. And I think it's because they want to kind of be the provider. And I think as women, the reason why we want to be ambitious and have our own thing is because we want to always feel like if at any point you decide to go date somebody hotter than me, you decide to leave me, I'm still good on my own.
Now, here's what's cool about this. So
The
let me,
reason
so Gers,
why
do you
we-
still not? Let me play it again. It's only 22 seconds, just in case anybody missed it. And what she said was ambition. So in the
Wanna be
beginning,
ambitious.
that was the word that she used because I feel like it
I
didn't
didn't
come
hear a
across.
word she said. I'm too busy looking at her, bro.
All right, well, you got a
She's
second
beautiful,
chance.
man.
Just
She's
listen. Don't
beautiful.
look at her. Just listen.
I don't think guys value ambition as much as we do and we seek as women. And I think it's because they want to kind of be the provider. And I think as women, the reason why we want to be ambitious and have our own thing is because we want to always feel like if at any point you decide to go date somebody hotter than me, you decide to leave me, I'm still good on my own.
All right, so let me ask you guys
The
this.
reason
Do
why-
you guys let me get her
And
with her
we
eyes.
want to be ambitious
All right, that's cool. Let me. Can I
You
get
can leave her up.
a
and
shot?
have our own thing is because
All right, that's good. What? Hey, bro.
DSM.
Sure, come on, man. Hey, Jers, DSL or not though?
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, so do you guys think what she said was she feel women should always be ambitious because what if a guy decides to leave her for somebody prettier, hotter, or whatever, right? And so she feel that women should always be able to be on their own. So you know how some people say the the independent women, blah blah blah. So to a point, I kind of hear her. Now here's I'm gonna go into a funny story. When I met Sandy, well, when we decided to start dating, I said, look, why don't you move in? She had an apartment. I had this house we're in now, but me and my ex-wife got a divorce, but the house was still in both of our names. So what we did was 1 week I stayed at home, and the other week my ex-wife got the house, and I went to my grandma's, or I would stay with her. So I said, if you move in, then she could just go about her business. Sandy told me, no, because what if you decide to kick me out and with my kids, and then I have no place to go to, so I'll never give up my apartment. That's kind of what this girl is saying. And at the time, I was like, why would I do that to you? But for her defense, well, you explain it from a woman's side.
I have kids I had to worry about. I had to put my kids first. And men, a lot of the time, say they want something. And then a month or two into it, they're like, oh, this ain't working. You need to go or whatever. Well, I look like being on the street with two kids. I had to make sure he was for real before I just moved in.
And at the time, it bothered me. I was like, "What? Why would I do that?" But and then we got another clip later, which is really crazy, which is who are more selfish, men or women? But we'll get into that. But so I get what this girl is actually saying because I actually dealt with it. If not, I probably didn't be like, get out of here. But what do you guys think about her saying the reason why she think women need to be ambitious?
They can go first.
I agree. Women do need to be ambitious, and they do need to have their own goals. And on that same point, they need, if they're going to be looking for a romantic partner, they need to be focused on somebody that's not only that's going to help them with their goals, or somebody that they're willing to help out with their own goals. You know, it's, any relationship, there's a give take. You know, and both parties have to be willing to help each other and build each other up.
I like it. What about you, sorry, Cubini?
I mean, I don't really like what she said there. I think my wife would disagree as far as exactly how she said it. Mm-hmm. But I definitely agree that if she wants to be ambitious and have a career and do that, then I'm all for it. I'm not going to tell her, I'm the man, you don't need to do that, But I don't think it's based on I could possibly leave her and she's screwed. I think that's a little silly. I think my wife would disagree with that.
Okay. All right, Jers.
Okay. She's a freaking airhead for one. Okay.
Well, yeah.
You could definitely tell she only goes by her looks, right, to get what she wants. That's all she's about. I bet you she only does OnlyFans or Pornhub.
She did say if a guy get a more hotter girl than her.
No, I don't care about hotness or cuteness or ugliness. She said ambitious. That was the context of the whole video, right?
Yeah. Okay.
She's an airhead. She's not in reality. You see, reality is you could be ugly as hell and still have the greatest ambition in the world, right? Mm-hmm. So, for example, my lady works 2 jobs and goes to school and does cheerleading things. She runs the 7th grade committee and all that. That's very ambitious, don't you think? So I'm like, okay. If you're sitting there and telling people that guys are gonna leave you for your looks, you got to be ambitious. You should always be ambitious, no matter who or what you're with. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she doesn't live in reality, bro. Like you should always be, as a human being, an adult, have ambitions for yourself, no matter what. If you have a partner that's gonna build you up more, hey, it is what it is. That's what I'm saying. People like this, I don't. Every time I see these videos, bro, I just scroll right past them. I'm like, yeah, you're full of crap.
But listen, they don't show the beginning of the video, but what I'm assuming, is this probably was one of those conversations where it's like the guy's like, don't worry about it, I got you, I'll take care of you. And so she's like, I need to be ambitious because what if you find somebody hotter than me, or for whatever reason, then she want to be able to handle. She want to be able to pay her own bills.
Well, be real. Well, let's be realistic here. Real men don't do that. Real women, you know what I mean? Real women stay with the guy. You know what I mean? So it's like
those people still exist.
No, I'm saying, like, you think about it, right? She probably dates friggin' millionaires, right? She probably dates millionaires. So You know what I mean? So she's going above her freaking means. So it's like, yo, come back down to earth. You need
Yeah,
to stop,
she's
you know,
not
anybody who's
dating,
rich can get anybody, bro. Let's be real. You got money, yo. You can. Who are you? Get out of here. So you know what I mean? So yeah.
I mean, she's not dating a 40-year-old that's divorced with 2 kids. You know,
Nah, bro.
really busting his ass. You know.
Nah, hell no.
Nah, she don't know what a real man is exactly.
She doesn't. You can
You
tell.
guys are judging.
I don't see no
her
ring on her
looks.
finger, dog.
I don't think it's about her looks or a real man or any of that stuff. I think what she's trying to say is women and men should be, you know, both equally ambitious, because what if something does happen? There's a big divorce rate in the U.S., right? So you need to be able to take care of yourself as a woman or a man if you were to split up with your significant other.
Yeah.
If you're not working and you just expect your man to take care of you and be a housewife and blah, blah, that takes a lot of trust, because a lot of stuff doesn't work out for everybody. And I'm not saying that you can't do that as a woman, be a stay-at-home mom or whatever, but I do feel like you should always have something to fall back on in case it doesn't work out.
What do you mean, like an ex-boyfriend?
No, I mean
I
a
just-
job.
I mean,
I
just
agree.
play.
Education. You shouldn't just
I
be
agree.
some
She should be
airheaded
ambitious.
housewife that
Sure.
thinks your husband's going to take care of you forever.
You know,
Yeah, but see, I can't take advice. I can't take advice from somebody in this video who's not married. Sandy, I could definitely take advice from. She's married. She's a mother. You know, I can definitely see that from a woman's point of view. This girl in the video, I would never listen to. She's
Yeah,
no.
but I don't
It
think
ain't
that's
gonna
fair,
happen.
because she could have been in that situation in the past. Maybe she's speaking from experience. Maybe she did date a guy and she stayed home and didn't work because
Yeah, you
the
know
guy
what?
just
She
told
probably
her
wasn't
was so
ambitious.
hot, and then he
That's what
cheated on
happened.
her with a hotter girl, and she was out on the street.
That was her problem. She should, man. Listen,
You
it doesn't take a rocket science to figure out. Hey, you better do good by yourself, and then figure out what you want to do.
It takes a lot of money to maintain what you see on that screen. So trust me, she needs to be ambitious.
There's just something about her that comes
You know
off
she got
as,
sugar daddies.
I need my man to help me out, but I'm not going to do the same.
Well, because I think because she was the one to bring. If she probably didn't put the looks in it,
then
maybe.
maybe people want to
Yeah,
take that
but I mean, but guys. So I think she put that out there because typically you hear a lot about guys cheating. So she put that out there because a guy probably would cheat on her because if a girl was hotter. So you know, but
She probably had that in
yeah.
her own experience.
But anyway, Jers, let me go to your thing. What did you have?
Personally, I sent you the Discord message. I didn't know where to send it. So the first link is kind of messed up. You know what I mean? So watch out for that. But then the second one's crazy things going down. But yeah, click on the first link.
Okay, so we're gonna do the first one. It's only 51 seconds, which is cool. We'll get right into that. Hey guys, let's see how long we've been on. We've been on for an hour 36 minutes. I don't want to go too long. And the cool thing is, anything we didn't get through, I got it all saved, so we could always pull it up for next week. But let's check this out. All right, so illegal immigrant gang.
Busted for kidnapping 3 girls as young as 11.
Yo, Jers. All right, let's do it.
Fox News alert. Cops just busted up a gang of illegal immigrants in Minnesota. Caught kidnapping at least 3 girls off the street as young as 11. One of those girls says she was lured into a car by a stranger, then transported to a house where she was tied up, forced to drink alcohol, and raped. One girl untied herself and ran to police. Police showed up and arrested the leader of the squad, an American named Oscar Luna from Texas, who goes by the name Panda. Panda was charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct, and as for the 11 illegals who are also staying at the house, we're told Border and Customs showed up, scooped them up, and now they won't tell us anything. They're dodging our questions. And I dare the president to tell the parents of these little girls that the border's secure.
Damn. Yeah, that's wild.
Who goes by the name...
First things first, Minnesota. Stuff going down like that in Minnesota?
There's a lot of stuff going down.
Yeah, bro.
In Minnesota that surprise you.
All right, Nikki said, who was this woman? And she said, I'm out. All right, later, Nikki. Wow, that's wild, man. That is definitely wild. A gang of 11 guys. I mean, you know what's crazy? This whole trafficking thing is getting real big. And this isn't even trafficking. This is just them kidnapping.
Okay, so the next video is about the border crisis, and I was like kind of paying attention the last 3 weeks to a month. It was getting worse and worse. But it's kind of weird because there's a lot of illegal men crossing the border, not women. It's like 80% to 20% from women or men, to women and children. It's crazy, dude, that ratio.
Okay, do you guys got anything you want to say about this video before we move to the next one?
I lump this in. Something I was saying just the other day. I feel like anybody who's in this country illegally that commits violent crime, like rape or murder or anything like that, they shouldn't be sent back to their own country. They should be put to death as terrorists.
Yeah, you should be hung by a rope on the town square. Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
If you're gonna come to this country illegal and then do all that shit, shit.
Yep. No, they shouldn't be tolerated at all.
Well, I think so. Here's my thing. Let's go into a little bit. I think there's a certain way to do justice, and hanging someone.
Okay,
in the
wait.
town square,
I have to interject.
It's a figure of speech, man. It's a figure of speech.
No, listen, it's not, because Florida's passing a law. So if a child molester illegal or legally did that to a 12-year-old or younger, they're doing a death penalty. So yeah, Florida's not messing around either.
No, yeah, death penalty is one thing, but
I can tell you right
I
now,
didn't know if you mean he was serious. I didn't know.
It's a figure of speeches, and we should be that that tough on.
I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
I agree. I think any child molester, somebody like raping a young child, should definitely face the death penalty. I feel like that should be important.
Yep.
I mean, not for nothing, I am a firm believer of don't start no more being on it. I feel like, you do the crime, do the time. I mean, somebody losing their life is extreme, but I think a lot of countries don't. No, but listen, I think a lot of countries don't deal with some of the stuff we deal with because they are super extreme.
Right,
like their repercussions is so extreme, so they don't have as much crime as the U.S. So
just imagine like some other countries still cut your hands off for stealing, right? Imagine you're in the United States and that becomes a law. How many people do you think really gonna be stealing?
Yeah, well, I gotta give a shout out to Lion. I was watching his he got a new channel, The Playbook, and they did an episode on traveling. And the one girl said she was traveling to Peru or something, or somewhere they was at, and this one girl was getting an argument, and she just started cursing somebody out. They arrested her because where they're from, they don't tolerate cursing. I was like, oh, she got arrested for cursing, but she didn't know that. So yeah, some places are more extreme, and their crime rate is probably less. But we can go into the next
we got to
video.
disincentivize stuff like this. I mean, that's what it boils down to. Just like I said,
step up and do that shit, though.
Because I'm telling you right now, if my daughter was one of these 3 girls, I would be ready to burn every one of them.
I can imagine. All right, so let's see what else.
And damned anybody that gets in my way. Like,
So I want you guys, before we play this video, I want you to look closely. In that picture alone, I know there's probably 20, 30, like 60, 70 guys, right? That's the majority coming through this country. Honestly, it's all men of military age people. Yeah. Something's going down, man.
All right, let's check it out.
In Eagle Pass, Texas, our Fox drone captured video of one of the largest mass illegal crossings we have ever seen there. Border Patrol sources telling Fox some 2,200 people have crossed illegally just since midnight.
How the
11,000 people in one day.
Guys, this has been happening for the last 2 years since Biden been in office.
Yeah, since Trump was out.
Hey, I guess we really need that wall, huh?
Yeah, we do.
Let's put this into perspective too. 11,000 people in one day. Do you guys realize that on September 11th, 2001, it only took 19 people to bring this country to its knees and shut everything down? 19 people.
I have a lot more, but I'm not going to send you all. I'll probably send them to you tomorrow, just so you can look at them. Maybe next week.
George, next, when you go back into Discord, just look in the side tabs. There's one that's actually called Reality Talk Show Tuesday.
Oh, okay, yeah, something in there.
Yeah, so you want to throw some stuff in there? We could bring it up. So
they're actually sending illegal immigrants to Kamala Harris's house.
They need to.
They're busing them to her house. Hey, it's so overwhelmed in New York City, Chicago, Boston, Philly. It's insane, bro.
Hey, they wanted to be sanctuary.
And then these illegal immigrants. See, this is my problem. I don't care if they want to come here legally, work. I don't care, bro. I don't care about the women, children. Bring them in. Let's get them vetted. Let's do it. Let's get them in. But don't they're coming in the streets demanding jobs, demanding this. Who the frig are they to demand anything while we suffer out here, bro? This just aggravates me, man.
I got a quick update to the speaker thing. Kevin McCarthy is now saying he is telling House Republicans he will not be running again. So he's not going to try to get back in.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, he had the option to do that, I guess, and he's not going to take it. So.
I guess he was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done with this bullshit. So yeah.
Like, that job was rough anyway.
110 hours a week. Bam.
Yeah,
one
but
thing
what's
I
he
wanna
get? He
get
gets 6
into-
figures, though. You know.
Oh, just FYI, though, I want you guys to understand. Supposedly, the UN is funding this massive migrant. Imagine that. And there's supposedly rumors, or there is speculation, that Venezuela is emptying out their prisons and sending them here. So, if you notice in that picture alone, you see any women and kids? Because I didn't.
Nope.
Why all these men running? What are they running from? I don't know.
Well, it's simple. They want to come in the country, get a job, and then send money back. You know, that kind of bullshit.
Not all of them want to do that.
Nah, bro. They just.
So let's do this. I want 2 things I want to definitely get to before we log off, and I'm curious what you guys think about this because this has been all over the news. But Tupac, man.
Oh yeah, yo. What? Finally.
So
I've
let me
heard
play some of
different
this. I'm gonna
things,
skip a little bit because it's 3 minutes, but let's play a little bit.
We're taking a live look now at Flamingo and Koval at a spot made infamous by one of the Valley's highest profile killings that has gone unsolved for decades. Rapper Tupac Shakur died after a drive-by shooting here in 1996. Now, nearly 3 decades later, a suspect is finally in jail. And tonight, we are learning more about the evidence against him. Fox 5 has a look at the evidence used to convince a grand jury to indict a Henderson man on a murder charge. Police believe that he was the mastermind behind the crime and now believe that they can prove it.
Seeing all on the news, like, damn, I got away.
That was Dwayne Keefe Davis's reaction after Tupac's murder, recounted during a podcast. Davis, who now calls Henderson home, had his house raided by Metro back in July and was arrested on Friday after these pictures, videos, and interviews were presented to a grand jury. The grand jury finding there was enough evidence to try him for the 1996 drive-by killing. He is also accused of plotting the murder.
The moment it was announced that Tupac passed away, what was your reaction and what was Orlando's reaction?
We ain't gonna let them see us sweat, you know what I'm saying? That's giving away this, you know what I'm saying? This is like telling ourselves.
Investigators say Davis confessed to his involvement in the case, giving full details of how he and co-conspirators killed the late rapper. But that interview was in exchange for information, and Davis was given immunity. What he later...
So they said he wrote a book, and he actually talked about it in his book, and that's what kind of like messed him up. And I guess he was given immunity, but he did something to mess up his immunity, and he was able to get him off of that. That's kind of wild.
All right, staying on Tupac topic.
So does that mean that they knew it was him the whole time, and they just finally
let me
do
actually
something?
play that
That's
part.
kind of bullshit.
Yeah, let me play that part so you
Yeah.
actually can hear it for yourself. Hold on.
revealed in documentaries and podcasts was not part of the original deal with police, and now prosecutors are using his own words against him.
Went up to the light on Sunset and Flamingo, and a dude was acting like he was in a parade or something. And that BMW hanging out the window, hey, this Tupac, it's Tupac. And we let that came up on the side of him.
I read in the book you said that it looked like you guys rolled up and Pac reached.
Looked like he was reaching, yeah, it looked like he was ready to bust our and like we was the first ones.
Yeah.
Luckiest one, I guess. Hit that corner, gave a little chase, boom, boom, boom.
So you guys parked the car, put the gun under the tire, and then I think you said in the book you guys came back out and you guys saw ambulances coming, or with Tupac and Suge in the ambulance.
You wanted to say that for the Compton Street Legend, man. Y'all need to go buy that book.
This is the book he wrote about what happened. Compton Street Legend, Notorious Keefe D's street-level accounts of Tupac and Biggie's murders, death row origins, Suge Knight, Puffy Combs, and Crooked Cops. The book, now part of the murder case. And Davis is expected to appear in court on Wednesday morning. The 60-year-old is facing one charge of murder with a deadly weapon with a gang enhancement attached.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? He's still going to make a killing with that selling of that book.
Oh, yeah.
Millions and millions of dollars.
Now there's renewed interest.
Matter of fact, I'm about to go buy it.
Here's my question. Do you think, like, did he really do it?
Yeah. You guys watch the documentaries on this? With Johnny Depp with that movie and the show on Netflix and the earlier on.
Yeah, we was watching the Biggie and Tupac thing that was on Fox. That was pretty good, actually.
Yeah, man. He was, you know, there's supposedly talks about Diddy, man, getting, you know, taken down on this too. Yeah.
That's wild. Well, here, Sandy just sent me this.
Year ago, and then last time, one time we was in court, and I was trying to do subpoena for the
you gonna get louder?
check. So I was allowed to. It's told me that. Yes, I am, but I mean, sometimes I can't get through this. Only person
They need to put like subtitles.
Sometimes this office don't take my call, and I have other counselors that I'm trying to deal with. I don't know where he's at.
I guess saying he knew all along. All right, well, we can't really hear it, but no, I think it's just low. It's just they got, like, you can see he's far away, so I guess somebody must have recorded this in court, and they're playing it.
Sounds fine.
That does sound a little bit louder on yours. Here, let me see something.
I respect you.
Let me. One of y'all say something.
Yo.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
What's up?
I respect your court. So I listen to you, and I tell everybody to go to Judge Ryan. They go to Judge Ryan and still get approved. How can I?
But anyway, I guess he's what, trying to confess, tell some info. I guess. You don't know. You didn't watch it yet, right? That Tupac ain't dead. Let me ask you about that. So does this mean Tupac isn't dead because somebody's trying to say they killed him?
Nah, Pac is dead, man.
All right.
FBI killed Pac, Biggie, Martin Luther King Boulevard. JFK.
FBI didn't kill Pac, man. It was the Los Angeles cops involved with the blood gang and everything, man. You know.
Wait, so you think Keefy D killed him or no?
Yeah, of course. Dude, they were in the gang with the Bloods and everything, with the Crips. You know, on Diddy's side, he hired Crips to protect him. And people think that it was the Crips who killed Pac and Bloods who killed Biggie. Or vice versa. So these guys, Diddy and Suge, got these two rappers killed, man.
Mm-hmm.
You guys gotta watch the documentaries and stuff, man. It makes a lot of
Crazy
sense.
though, they would lose so much money.
Yep.
But they did.
You already know my stance on this. If something like this is coming out after all this time, what are we being distracted from?
Biden, war, you know, martial law, all that.
What are they trying to?
I think Tupac's still alive, man.
Yo, remember that, yo, back in the day, like a year later, man, everybody thought he was still alive because they were coming out with his mixtapes and everything. Like, well, he's still rapping.
More than a year later.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He was only 24
How many
years
albums
old.
has that man put out since he's dead? I know bands that go their entire career without putting out that many albums.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, let's do this. The other thing I wanted to definitely get to was crazy. So I was in the Discord one day, and Chariot Man was like, "Yeah, man, flooded New York," and I went and met him a couple weeks ago. So me and my wife got on a train, went to New York. We got to meet him in person, and it was cool. And when he said flooded New York, I didn't know he meant flooded New York. So She ended up showing me that New York was flooded. I'm like, oh, flooded. So I just wanted to bring that up a little bit and show some of it because it is current events. So I got some short clips if anybody didn't see how crazy.
There is more rain in the forecast for an already waterlogged New York City. The metropolitan area was left swamped by about 22 centimeters of rain. New York City and Long Island were both put under a state of emergency. Weather and city officials say at least one spot in Brooklyn recorded 6 centimeters of rain in a single hour. The deluge flooded subway lines and highways, stranding many customers.
Man, that wasn't rain.
I was sitting and looking at this video.
Whose is this?
If there's this much water on the ground, whose stupid ass is walking down the stairs to get on the subway?
Still trying to go to work.
Yeah, you gotta go to work.
Trying to go to work.
I'm
hoping
to
y'all laughing, right? So here's what's cool. I got 2 clips. Now that was funny. We could laugh. Ha ha. This is gonna get real. I didn't even think when I watched this video today, I was trying to find a good video on it. I didn't even think about the repercussions of that. Now listen to this and you're gonna be like, okay, now it's not funny anymore. Check this out.
The water has subsided now, but the flooding was so bad in Brooklyn, one restaurant owner says she would have had to swim through the street just to reach her front door. Now, she watched the water rising through her surveillance video cameras, but by the time the flood subsided, her outdoor dining area had completely washed away. Ali Bowman has more.
Whether you were driving on the FDR or chasing waterfalls on the subway, you were almost certainly affected by the unending downpour in New York City Friday.
Unlikely I'll get a cab. Buses are packed.
Commuters struggled to get to and from work with most subway lines disrupted and Metro North fully suspended for hours out of Manhattan.
There are 3,500 buses out there. Overwhelmingly, they are the lion's share of our mass transit right now.
New Yorkers were urged to stay home, but even home wasn't safe for many basement apartments in Brooklyn when sewer systems backed up and poured out of people's toilets and tubs.
All right, now it's all fun and games. When I heard that, I was like, wait, what? And I didn't think about it. If water goes down and rises up, that means the whole sewer is flooded and it's only gonna go up. So watch this. Listen to this lady.
And poured out of people's toilets and tubs.
Mattresses were destroyed, furniture was destroyed, not to mention all the issues with the sanitation concerns.
The water actually comes back in through the main sewer line into the basement, and it shoots like a frickin' geyser.
Kelly Hayes owns Gowanus Gardens in Park Slope. Friday morning, sewage filled her restaurant's basement, and outside, floodwaters peaked at over 3 feet, drowning her outdoor dining structure and leaving it in pieces.
It's gonna cost me $5,000 to $10,000 just to have the garbage hauled away. So that's not even like building my business back.
Hayes says by the time she got any kind of emergency alert from the city, it was too late.
Like that, flash flooding is happening now, and we were already underwater.
The Brooklyn Borough president and public advocate are now criticizing Mayor Adams for what they call his lack of urgency before the storm.
We should probably prep to have a press conference in the early morning so we can update people on where we are.
Mayor Adams defends his administration sent out notifications Thursday afternoon.
One would have to be under a rock that didn't know that the storms were coming in this city.
After the remnants of Hurricane Ida slammed our area 2 years ago, many hoped the worst flooding was behind. But it was another day of unprecedented weather here in New York.
We at the state and city through the
The
main
thing is,
sewer
though, I
line.
don't think it's nothing you're gonna be able to do anyway. Like how much time? Like even if they give you a week in advance, everything you own is still done. You know.
The mayor was correct. They had plenty of advance notice. I saw another video. They were telling them the day before. So I don't know.
I mean, you can't even the day before you can't do nothing. Week before I don't know what to tell you. You're just screwed. But what I wanted to hone in on, actually, let me get that part of the video, was the sewage. Like when they brought that up, I was like, oh, I didn't even think of that. So your sewage, everything in the sewer is gonna come up through your toilet and your sinks and your tub. I mean,
Man, talk about a shitty day, huh? That's crazy.
yeah, well, you know, it's crazy. We know all about it because we used to have issues with our sewage line where it would come up. So it's not cool.
I mean, it's an island surrounded by water. I mean, like.
Yeah, I remember Hurricane Sandy in Jersey, man, was bad.
Yeah, man. Listen, we never forget it. Our trampoline, we tied it down, and we watched. It was scary. We was looking at our sliding doors, and we watched our trampoline just lift in the air, and because we tied half of it, it just flipped and slammed on the deck. We was like it was crazy.
When you guys get to Florida, get ready for them hurricanes, bro. They ain't no joke.
I hear you, but I'm moving.
How about
to
rain for
brother.
like 12 days straight? That's how that shit is.
I'm moving to Jacksonville, so. Yo, what's going on, Wilson? Let me look at the chat. Sandy was wild. My mom was stuck in the house for like 7 days. Oh wow!
Exactly, the hurricanes are no joke.
Cat, you're from New Orleans, right?
Said it had dead fish come up. Ooh, dead fish come up. It's crazy. Let me see. Ron said 4 kung fu turtles also coming up. This guy, yo, Ron, never take a day off, man. Yo, Ron got me laughing. Yo, I was talking about the guy they said nicknamed Panda. Why he said he feel like eating some Panda Express. Like,
I saw that.
My man, never take a day off.
Yo, where are all the rats at? They're supposed to be swimming in the water in New York.
That is true. We're the Rex. All right. Let's see. It's 2 hours exactly. Let's see. Could we get into let me see. I'm gonna leave the UAP stuff alone.
I sent you a link about that shooting in overseas. The 14-year-old that's in there. Yeah, it's in the Discord.
Okay, hold up.
I think I put it in there. It's just a quick thing. I saw it just happen, I guess.
Okay. Is it a video or no?
You'd have to click on the tweet and see if there's a video.
Okay, I don't think so. But here, I'll pull it up.
Yeah, it's a CNN thing, so there might be a video there.
I don't think so. No, well, let me see.
There's
a link. All right.
Yeah.
At least 3 people are dead and 4 others injured after a mall shooting in Bangkok. Thai officials say a 14-year-old suspect has been arrested. So look, they're shooting in other states. I mean, other countries, not just the U.S., huh?
Well, I mean, Chicago's, Chicago and Milwaukee are pretty terrible.
Yeah, it's not a video. It's
just a link.
I mean, yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? We're so desensitized. They're like, yeah, that's wild. Look, I hope y'all see that game fly, baby.
Because you'd be talking about it, man. They're putting this shit up on your thing.
Hey, man.
Google listening. Come on.
This is true.
You know how you're on your phone and you say something and then 20 minutes later it's all over your phone? Shit happens all the time.
All right, let me do this. Let me end it with let me see. Do I want the difficulty of dating or a man and woman? Yeah, selfish. Let me play this one. All right. Definitely got to give Sandy credit again because this also came from her watching TikTok. I'm always sitting next to her. I'm like, ooh, let me get that. Let me get that one. Let me get rid of some of these links. All right, so you guys ready for this? So I'm curious.
Under far less, men love women under far less conditions than women love men.
That sounds like the opposite of love to me.
Well,
if you love under far less conditions, that sounds like desperation.
If you take a majority of men versus a majority of women, a majority of men would like a majority of women. However, a majority of women definitely don't like a majority of men.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I think women love more. Because when they pick somebody, they're selective about it. They put more time and energy into it. Whereas for a guy, the woman is a lot more replaceable. That's why even Sneeko over here was like, oh, you might step out and f another bitch or whatever. It's like, okay, well, how much do you actually love your woman? Are you willing to do something like that? Like
that has nothing to do with how much you love the person.
It absolutely does.
Why?
Because it requires you to step out of your own selfish frame of reference to see how your partner feels about something. If you only prioritize the things that you want in life, that says something about how you view love of another person.
It's not really prioritizing, it's just doing what you want to do.
Yeah, that's called being selfish. It's usually what you do when you don't love somebody.
I'm trying to stop. I'm like, yo, why he seem like...
If you only prioritize the things that you want in life.
Men love women under far less conditions than women love men.
That sounds like the opposite of love to me.
Well,
if you love under far less conditions, that sounds like desperation.
If you take a majority of men versus a majority of women, a majority of men love women under far less conditions.
You guys, I'm gonna play it back, but you guys kind of get the gist of it. So they were trying to say who loves who more, men or women. So they were saying that more guys would choose a broader spectrum of women. Like, let's say you got 100 women and 100 guys. Probably 75 of those guys would be like, oh, we like 75 of those women. But they said if it was like 100 guys, 100 girls, probably I'll say probably like 45 women would be like, I like 75 of the guys, but not as much. So it was kind of deep because the guy went into, so he think women are more selfish. And the other guy was like, no, it will be men that's more selfish because men will be quick to cheat on the girl. And the dude was like, no, because they're showing what they really want. And he was like, yeah, but if you why would you cheat? Here, let me just play it back. It's kind of deep. All right, let me play it back.
Men love women under far less conditions than women love men.
That sounds like the opposite of love to me.
Well,
if you love under far less conditions, that sounds like desperation.
If you take a majority of men versus a majority of women, a majority of men would like a majority of women. However, a majority of women definitely don't like a majority of men.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I think women love more. Because when they pick somebody, they're selective about it. They put more time and energy into it. Whereas for a guy, the woman is a lot more replaceable. That's why even Sneeko over here was like, oh, you know, you might step out and another or whatever. It's like, okay, well, how much do you actually love your woman? Are you willing to do something like that? Like,
That has nothing to do with how much you love the person.
It absolutely does.
Why?
Because it requires you to step out of your own selfish frame of reference to see how your partner feels about something. If you only prioritize the things that you want in life, that says something about how you view love of another person.
It's not really prioritizing, it's just doing what you want to do.
Yeah, that's called being selfish. It's usually what you do when you don't love somebody.
Yeah,
that's why I think women love.
Who can't say that ain't true?
That is true. Blue hair guy got my vote.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. He started it. It started off sounding like they were having two different arguments. Like the one guy was just saying basically men are easier to please, but then the blue hair guy hit with facts.
Yeah, I mean,
like he broke it down.
Yeah, the BW, the Blue World Order guy, the blue meanie here.
No, I definitely see what he's saying because it's like if you're because the one guy was like, no, you're just doing what you want to do. He was like, exactly. So you're selfish. Because I guess he was trying to say like, well, women may stay with a guy if they don't. I don't know. It got kind of deep.
I watched that podcast for entertainment. I never take their damn advice. That's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the very first part's true. Men have less total requirements for a chick than a chick does for a guy. I agree with that. But the women are doing it on a whole different level. They're looking for a lot different things than what we look for.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
And not necessarily out of love.
So I'll say this.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
So I feel like sometimes men are just looking for right now, where women are looking for like future.
Yep.
Yeah. Women ain't got time for right now. They want to know they're good for 20 years, right?
That's true.
Exactly.
Yep.
And you know what's crazy? So I'm gonna play the next one. I was gonna leave it alone, but this is crazy because this goes exactly what Cubini was saying. And so here, let's just put this one out there. It's kind of deep, but
Ever noticed that men and women both complain about dating, but they complain about
back.
Have you ever noticed that men and women both complain about dating, but they complain about completely different things? Did a quick Twitter search, and a psychology student actually just did a study on this. Look what she found. You look at the statistics, it just looks like women are having a much harder time finding men attractive. Wish I was kidding. 20% of men and 40% of women are having trouble finding someone they are physically attracted to. 35% of men and 60% of women are having trouble finding someone they're emotionally attracted to. 50% of men and pretty much 75% of women have trouble finding someone they're intellectually attracted to. So we all think that the other sex is dumb. Men, if this is like any incentive to pay attention in school, this is it. If we dig in a little bit more, it's a little surprising. More men feel that they are doing poorly on dating apps, when women think that potential partners, aka men, are too sexually demanding. Interesting. More men than women say that they lack experience with dating. I'm gonna highlight this one again. 3/4 of women are having trouble finding someone they're intellectually attracted to. Half of men are pretty much saying like, I struggle to know if she's into me, which women, take note. If you show interest in a guy and like make it obvious, that's a net positive for you. One more thing, Mom, I'm sorry. I know this is another TikTok about dating.
yeah, it's kind of deep, but it kind of breaks down. Like we're just
did a quick Twitter.
We're simple.
mentally,
That's it.
emotionally, psychologically different.
Yeah, we're simple. That's it.
Men don't need much.
Yeah, we don't.
As far as women
We
go.
really don't.
So,
Yeah, but I will say this
Yeah,
though.
but men also get more like bored with women because they feel like they could just move on to the next one.
Listen. I am 40 years old. I've never once said, you know what, I'm bored of this chick. I feel like I can
me
do
too.
better.
I'm like, I'm
Never
40 in
happened.
February, so I'm like, I've been with my
Now-
chick for 14
okay,
years.
so-
So
You haven't
Yeah,
had
we're
one night
14 years
stand, you
too.
moved on,
Yes.
you weren't looking for a relationship. Women are more looking for a relationship than a one night stand. Majority of women are looking more for like their future husband or whatever, whereas men are like, oh, I mean, I'm just having fun.
That's true.
It's like statistically proven. I mean,
No, it's real.
Let's
Listen,
be
I'd say
real,
this,
though,
even
there
you go
are
a
a
little
lot of
further.
women that are
This
looking
is my
for-
third marriage, and I divorced both other wives. They didn't divorce me. A guy, I divorced them because I just felt like it wasn't working. We grew apart. I wasn't trying to work it out. Wasn't trying to keep it, make it go. I'd rather get out of it and find someone else.
The thing is, even if you're bored of even if I was bored of my wife, let's say I was, right? I never had that thought that, you know what, I'm going to go out and get better. I've never had that thought. I know that she loves me. She supports me. She raises my kid, she's always there for me. So
we all got to understand
I'm
relationships.
bored,
Listen, after a while, relationships get boring. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But it's up to us to find a way to spice it up in any ways possible, right? So
This whole stream's been about personal accountability.
and I blame Biden 100%.
But to your point, Cowboy, I mean, I'm
generation is making it hard for like men to want to stay with a woman because the women are out here kind of being fast too and just not caring and moving on to the next man as well. Whereas back when we were younger, it was more like you wanted to be in a relationship and not be out there as much. Whereas now it's like women and men are kind of like equally just out there.
Yeah.
There are a lot of women out there that are just way too demanding, and they're way too more into me instead of us.
And social media killed that because every girl, let's be real, like every man and girl, we're not all attractive like that, right? We're not freaking Brad Pitt and freaking Angelina Jolie out here. So they really feel social media got in their heads that they're a 10. I see it everywhere on TikTok, Instagram. I'm like, you guys are not fine. I mean, it's cool to be confident. I mean, let's all lose weight. Let's get into shape and look good. But you guys are not a 10. You are a 3 and 4.
And
you talking about that 10 thing? You saw that shit? Oh my Lord.
Cowboy, I want to touch on something that you
Oh,
were
Jesus.
talking about too, because I'm on my third marriage as well. And my first two didn't end because of boredom. They ended because I realized that the women, after I said I do, they started like trying to change me. And I got to realizing, well, if you're trying to change me now, then why did you marry me in the first place? You didn't love who I was then. You didn't you were only pretending until you got what you wanted out of me, and then you were trying to make me be something I'm not. So, I mean, my third wife now, we've been together for 10 years, 11 years. And, she actually appreciates who I am. She hasn't once tried to tell me I need to be anything different than what she met,
Yeah, I think that happened a lot. So, like I'm 47, so if you go back further, I think a lot of women used to do that. They would date you, and they would be a certain way, and then kind of like people used to say the representative. Oh, first 3 months you meet somebody representative. So for a fact, man, I would date women, and I would say, listen, I'm a guy. We're usually like, this is who we are, and a lot of women be like, oh yeah, I like that. Oh yeah, I'm do this, do that, and then after a while, you're like, damn, she stopped doing this, she stopped doing that. And then you realize, like, oh wait, she was just trying to impress you, and that really wasn't who she was. So I mean, that does happen.
Bro, that's a honeymoon phase, especially when you get married, bro. That first year, y'all are doing some crazy shit. Y'all are doing whatever. You're down for this, you're down for that, and then a year later, it's like, man.
But I thought I beat it because one of them I was with for like 3 or 4 years before we tied the knot, and then within that first year, she was like, yeah, I don't like this about you. You need to start doing that. You start. That's like, whoa, we've been living together for 3 years. Where's all this coming from now?
Right. Yeah. And I think it's good to fully people used to say you should marry your best friend. I don't know if that's gonna work for everybody, but what I can say is I used to call Sandy, a nickname her the Blueprint, because we was friends when I was engaged with my ex-wife, and then when I got married, she ended up getting a job near my job. So we used to talk all the time. So I knew everything about her just from being a friend, about her and her exes, and she knew everything about me. So then I get a divorce almost 2 years later, and she was in a relationship. So I was single doing my thing. And then eventually we met back up and we decided to date when she finally broke up with her person. So we both knew so much about each other. It was no like 3 years later, like, oh, where's this coming from? We was kind of like, bro, I already know. So you already know how I am, what I like. So if you switch up, that's on you. Yeah. So I think
What's up, Purple?
Yeah, what's up, Purple?
I
What's
didn't see
going
her
on?
come in.
Yeah, she popped in.
Yes.
Yeah, and Holtz is in here too. Good stuff. And Sean L is in here. I've been kind of scrolling through the chat. But yeah, I mean, so I think it's just interesting chemistry because people do change, people do grow. I married my kid's mom when I was 18 and she was 16. So we grew apart, and that was what happened with my first marriage. We just literally was different people than what we was years later. My second wife, I just married her because I felt she was everything I should have in life. She had her life together. She was she had a lot of money. She had the family that was just, they mom and dad was together since she was a little kid. And so I felt I was broken and I wanted what she had, but realized that her and I was just different. I'm loud. I walk in the room, what's up? She's super quiet, and it just didn't last. So that was, so we literally was divorced in less than 2 years. So there's many reasons why we date people. I think what we should do is we need to take more accountability for actually dating people, right? We need to take more accountability for letting it lead to marriage and kids. We need to really figure that out before we take those two real powerful steps,
And another thing too, we mentioned earlier in the stream about how over 50% of marriages end in divorce. A lot of that is because people just don't feel like they don't want to put in the work that it takes to actually have a relationship. Relationships take a lot of work.
Well, but then I've heard the argument too that
you need to like adjust yourself to be with that person in some type of way. I'm not saying you need to change yourself, but you need to be on the same standards with each other. Like,
there are sacrifices and concessions you need to make.
It interesting.
Yeah, and the 5 love languages is a deep book. I did read that. I'm not saying it's like a perfect way to look at it, but it does help if you just tell yourself, okay, this is who I am as a person, and what do I feel comfortable doing for my partner, and what do they feel comfortable doing for me? Meaning, if I hate buying flowers, but I decide to date the girl who loves flowers, that's chemistry isn't working. Because I'm gonna be like, I don't want to buy flowers, and she's the girl that grew up. Her dad bought her flowers. Her boyfriends brought her flowers, and she's just used to it. But you feel flowers is a waste of money. So that book kind of touches on something like that. Or you might love, let's say guys, we're super sexual, right? We love sex, and then you date the girl who's she could go a month without having sex, and she's cool with it, right? So obviously that doesn't work, and I think people in relationships need to pay more attention to who they date. Yeah, you gotta say no. You might meet the hot chick and she's acting a certain way, and 2 weeks later she's different, but you don't want to not date her because your boys think, oh, she's a trophy girl, but you're like, damn, she's kind of boring, or she don't do this, she don't do that, but you stick with it because on paper or the way she looks, it's appealing. So, but I want to say to Purple, this is just a regular Tuesday, Purple. We talk about a bunch of different things. She's like, what did I walk into? Like, you walked into Reality Talk Show Tuesday.
And we did speak about the Tupac thing earlier. You just came in later.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, and we talked about New York, your city, Purple, underwater. You got to be real. The real you is true. Let me see.
You know what else too in a relationship though? We made a lot of changes together as a couple. So like you were saying before, people want to change you, and then you get married and they want to do this and do that. I don't think each person should want to change each other. I think you should learn to do certain changes together to benefit your relationship.
Right.
Yep. In my relationship, you know what I do? When my lady's mad at me, I just make her laugh like an hour later. And it's done. You know what I mean? Everybody got those arguments, right? I hate it. When I first met her, I remember I said, listen, I am not the one to argue. So this whole 2, 3, 4 days of women arguing, you better look in that mirror, argue with yourself, because I ain't gonna be there. So what I do is, my thing is, it's like a defense mechanism. So when she's really mad about something, maybe I came home too late, or I didn't do something I was supposed to do, I say, hey, listen, and I'll just make up something funny. She starts laughing, then all of a sudden we're better. So that's what I'm saying. Like, humor to me is a big part of a relationship, man. If you ain't got a sense of humor, bro, if your lady ain't happy, man, I don't know, man. If she ain't laughing, I don't know, man. It's just me.
So you sound like kind of like, so when I first met him and we were like dating and stuff, he was kind of the guy, like he would go 2-3 days without talking to you. I'm the type of person like, no, I don't like that, because then you're drawing like that line of like where we might not want to get back together or talk about stuff, and that's going to make our relationship have strain. So for me, like he would be mad about something, and like an hour later I'd be like, all right, you want to watch a movie? And he'd be like, watch a movie. And then eventually he got used to like, I'm not going to argue with you for 2 to 3 days about something stupid. It's just not worth my time.
Yeah, because
if you want this to work, we need to learn how to get around this.
Yeah, because I was used to kind of toxic relationships. I was used to like, I ain't gonna speak to you for like an hour. That's gonna turn into a day and a week, and oh well, I want to be mad. And I was used to women kind of letting me be mad, or and so with her, she went about it differently. Like she said, like an hour later, she's like, hey, you want to watch a movie? She act like nothing happened. And at first I'd be like, annoyed, like, oh, don't act like nothing didn't happen. It's kind of like, but we already discussed it. We're already over it. Now, like, there's no point to still be mad. And so it helped me mature, because I was like, well, if she let it go, then I'm the one being immature. And so that kind of helped.
Yeah, I always said, like, people holding grudges in relationships by arguing or, not getting along and not talking for days, that's a little wasted energy. And it takes more in your face to frown than to smile. So,
yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? So I don't like to argue. I hate it. I mean, if it's justifiable, I mean, if you want to argue about something cool that's really, really important, then man, get it out of your system. It's fine. It's normal. But then a little petty stuff, like, I remember my lady was mad because I didn't do the dishes or clean up for her when I was home. I'm like, you know what? I apologize. I'll do it right now. That's why I was doing my shows and stuff like the editing. So I was like, you know what? I was selfish. I'll do that right now. So then I did it, and then there it is.
And this has to be interesting, but Wilson said, I don't know about y'all, but my relationship for the past 4 years have been long distance while she's been working on her degree. It's been tough, but you either make it work or you don't. I'm one of those people, I like to be near the person I'm with. I don't think I can handle a long distance relationship.
I don't think I'd put myself in that position, just because, like you said, I need to be like with my person. So that would be really rough.
Yeah.
What about Cowboy? What about like what I do? I'm only home, 40, 45 hours a week. I come home Friday night and I'm gone Monday morning.
Right.
You think you can handle doing that?
I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could. The type of person I am, I guess I'm used to being in relationships or I want to be in a relationship where I see you more often than not. And plus it helps me in my attention span and to be into that person. I'm not gonna lie, if I barely see you, man, you might catch me looking somewhere else. That's just me.
I gotta say something to Kubini on that, right? So Kubini, I definitely feel you on that, because last week when I worked 6 days, I only see my lady like 3 hours out of that week, bro. Because she works 2 jobs. She got a real job. She has a little part-time. She has a cheerleading thing. She got her 7th grade committee thing. She does a lot of things. I don't know how she does it, but she does it. So when I'm home, I'm passed out like 9 o'clock if I'm tired, and then she comes home and it's like, dude, I swear to God, like 3 to 5 hours out of that week, I saw my lady, bro. That's a hard piece, man.
Yeah, sometimes I get home like noon Saturday, and she's out with her friends all day, so I don't even see her till Sunday morning. And then it just has like one day, and I go right back out. Yeah.
Yeah, but what's cool is they make it. Yeah, what's cool is they make it work, and really cool. Yeah, they both make it work, and they put it, and they like it's part of their lives, and so.
Yeah, I've been driving for 5 years, so we've been doing it 5 years. Yeah. That's all. But I used to do 18 days. I would do 18 days out, and I'd come back for 3 days and go right back out. Mm-hmm. And then I shortened it down to being home every weekend. I couldn't do that 18-day thing. That was too much.
They got a lot of power.
Well, it was my kid. My kid got me off the road, basically. So I was tired of not seeing him,
Yeah.
Real quick, while we're talking about seeing family and whatnot, I'm gonna go ahead and bail out. I promised my daughter I'd play some golf with friends with
That's
her
cool,
tonight.
man. Definitely. Well, we're
I'm gonna
gonna
go
start shutting down too. But Energy, thanks for joining as usual, man. I appreciate it.
No
And
problem,
I'll
man.
see
I'll be
you
on
tomorrow to
tomorrow.
defend them titles, right?
Oh yeah, I'll be here.
All right, brother.
Bye, Energy.
Nah, I'm
Bye.
out too, guys. I'll take it easy, guys.
Definitely.
You take it easy too.
So yeah, we're gonna shut this thing down now. Cubini, any last words since you're the last one here?
If you ain't first, you're last. I don't know. No, good show as always. A lot calmer than yesterday, obviously. So, we'll talk in Discord. And my butt's going to bed. I gotta get up at 2 a.m. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'll talk to you in Discord.
Yes, sir. You guys have a good night.
All right.
Thank you.
Talking to you.
Bye.
Bye.
Later. All right, guys, definitely a good show, man. This was really cool. If you guys want to see some of the topics that's coming up, I took the liberty to make a tab for all the live streams I do now. So as the week goes on and I find other topics, I'm just gonna throw them in there so you guys will get an idea of what we might be talking about. So you can even watch some of the videos and stuff like that. Like today, what I'm doing is take the videos we didn't get to, and I'm gonna pull them down and separate it and just put it for next week's show. Yeah, so that way I'm able to track it. On Facebook, where I used to put it, I can't edit or anything. So I just had to be like, oh, what topics did I do? What topics didn't I do? Because if I skip a topic, I wouldn't know. But I'll definitely get off and switch it after tonight. But want to thank everybody in the chat. Definitely want to thank Dodgeman for donating earlier and his cool video about Mortal Kombat with Scorpion. I learned a lot from his tutorial. I want to thank all of you guys for joining. And yeah, this is definitely another good episode of Reality Talk Show Tuesdays. Catch me next Tuesday. We talk about no gaming, just strictly what could be happening in the real world, good stories, bad stories, you know, anything that is going on in life. And I want to thank my wife for joining the show today. And that was cool as well.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah. Let me see what Energy said.
He said, by the way, if anybody wants to join in our golf with friends game, I'm setting up the lobby.
That's cool. I used to play golf with friends a little bit on Stadia. Cowboy, I really appreciate you bringing Sandy on. My wife loves hearing other women's point of view. It means a lot. Fair enough. But all right, guys, we're going to get out of here, get something to eat, and I will see you guys tomorrow for We Wrestle Wednesdays. Wrestling League, we play WWE 2K 2023. And then Thursday, I'll see you guys for some more Get Over Here Thursdays. We're going to play some Mortal Kombat 1, and then I'll be putting out daily content. I got a bunch of videos I recorded that I need to put out. So expect a lot of videos because I think I'm going to try to work on a lot. And I might put out that Maker Chaos video as well by the weekend. But with that being said, guys.
Hold on. Holt said Sandy is the best, just so you know. I'm better than you.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yep.
Sandy, but how does that mean you're better than me? He just said you're the best.
I'm the best.
Best at what?
Best at everything. Okay.
Fair enough.
And I can't wait to meet Holtz. And David Wilson said, have a good week. You too.
Take care, Wilson. All right, guys. With that being said, this was epic for one reason and one reason only. You know why?
Bye, mister.
Do you know why?
Because
I'm a cowboy. Oh, man. And with that being said, and now your mama knows. Working your beady little eye.
I'll make you famous.
Because I'm a cowboy. Oh, man. And now your mama knows. Bruce, unleash the baby god dragon.